Championship rookie Ryan Gerard alone in second at 5 under. He shoots 66 today. At 4 under, tied for third and 2 back, Luke Donald, the European Ryder Cup captain at 47 years old, Ryan Fox, Alex Smalley, and Steven Yeager. Bryson DeChambeau even through 12, all pars, save for a bogey at 3 and a birdie at 10. DeChambeau 6 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil, the fill-in the control room for a couple days while Harris is off. He talks, but I don't listen. So I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I think he's visiting that sex dungeon where the guy is trying to recommend Prevagen.
No, I think it's a graduation for his brother.
Okay.
Down in Tennessee?
Yeah, he's going to Tennessee. His brother's graduating this weekend.
He's going to God's country.
And
who said that's God's country?
I don't know. And I think anywhere in the Midwest to South is apparently God's country.
Why? Tennessee's in the South.
Yeah, so there you go. It falls
Tennessee is actually not in the South. I mean, if you look at it, it's really kind of the belt of the country.
Okay. So it's in the belly flap of America.
No,
that's an excellent. Yes,
I would say not belly flap. I'd say like the
you couldn't see
waist.
your penis from the north part of Tennessee.
You could.
Maybe
the belly flap of America.
I was saying that maybe the waistline of America.
If you were Bob Ross and you had two colors between the North and the South, and
Well,
like
there
it's the
you
first,
go.
yes,
A happy little
yes, the happy little
squirrel
mistake would
over
be
here.
Tennessee on the South
And then
side.
You've got
I
Tennessee.
don't think he talked like that.
Ooh,
He was
there-
highly erotic,
oh,
Jeffrey.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
And a happy little cloud.
Why do you think
Just-
women woke up every morning just to get a look
Whatever.
at that fro?
Whatever you decide to make it, that'll be.
Just imagine grabbing that
Ooh.
fro and hanging
Mm.
on for dear life, right? Or the beard. Either way.
He
Either
didn't have
way.
much of a
Bob
it was
Ross.
more of a fro than a beard, I think.
A sex god among men.
So I got to check something here. Hold
Yes,
on.
sir.
Okay.
Well, because I made a big deal out of like, hey Phil, make sure you start our YouTube video for the YouTube thing that goes out on the Twitter and it goes out on the Facebook there.
Yes.
And then I was just like, do, and then like at the last second I start posting it up. So like there was no reason to even rush Phil because I was just being, I don't know, absent-minded.
Anal.
Mm.
And so then I posted it up, and well, the preview is just a big green square.
Ah,
But if you click on it, it does work. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going
I
on.
think they call that the trailer, Jeffrey. We now
Yeah,
have
it
a
should feel like it should say this preview is approved for
mature
some
general
audience.
audiences.
Oh
yes.
no, not mature ones. No,
For immature general
for
audiences.
immature
yeah,
audiences.
it's rated
only.
G for immature audiences only. Yeah.
G for immature. Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be I?
Hmm.
I for immature.
Wait.
I've never heard that one. Bruno Baller says, "Did Bob Ross have chia hair?" Yes, he did.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
I
he
think
did.
he did.
I
As
think
a
he's the
matter
one who
of fact,
started it.
I think they made a chia pet out of Bob Ross.
Oh,
if I'm not
certainly.
mistaken.
They've
Yeah.
done him. They've done Barack
you went
Obama.
over
They've
to
done
the,
Scooby Doo.
You went over to the Costco or the Skags there, and
Yes.
you paid your 99 cents,
You could.
Yeah.
and you got your Bob Ross chia hairdo.
That's
Yeah.
one of the best jingles in all of history.
Chia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you? I watched your schedule release video, and it was dumb for the
Thank you.
Broncos.
Thank you. I worked on it all night. Oh, are you talking to someone else?
So Phil, did you see your schedule release video?
I have not, but you know what though? You
It
know
was
how
dumb.
you know how I know it was just fine is because we didn't have to take ours down. So
I'm so disappointed that they took down the Colts one. I'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah.
But all you did with the Broncos trying to own the rest of the league was you had a bunch of kids riding lambs with the helmets of the teams, and they would keep falling off the lamb, and this guy was just making snarky comments about them. And I'm just like, that's weak. And then they bring out this little Bronco kid who they Velcro to the sheep, I think, and it doesn't fall off. And they're like, ha, see? And it's just like stupid. It was just stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at it, but I do love me a good lamb. You know, I whether it's mutton, whether or not it's
I think it's
clothing.
just sheep.
What is the difference? I know
I
this is
don't
like
know.
this is like an alligator crocodile discussion and debate that I am not intelligent enough to
See,
have.
this is why we needed a little redneck. Here. That's
Yes.
why Harris should have been
Yes.
here to answer these questions.
Yes.
I don't have it.
Well, Harris
Especially
is not
for-
here to answer questions. He's back in the great state of Tennessee.
That's the sound his plane actually makes as it flies through the air.
I
towards
think you're
Tennessee.
right. Yeah, I think you're right.
So I also I looked at all the schedule release videos for the most part, and I looked at the Cardinals one, Randy. That was probably the hippest. This is probably the badassest one I could find. It's not the best one, but it was this dude. I'm not sure who's rapping in this, but it was pretty good.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you should. You really should.
I'll be honest with you. I've been so embarrassed by the Cardinals release videos over the past several seasons. I've decided not to watch.
Been
No,
embarrassed
you
because
really
you knew that they were going to be losses, or the videos
I
themselves.
just knew it was going to be something stupid. I just knew it.
Randy, this
And
was
so-
not stupid. This is
All
actually
right.
pretty well done.
All right, then I
In
will
fact,
go. I will look it up.
If it weren't for the fact that it's a long song, let
Mm-hmm.
me see here. It's 3 minutes 31 seconds. I would play it because there ain't no swear words or nothing in it. But if you wanted to bring it up at the Arizona Cardinals X site or Twitter place or whatever, we could play a little bit of it. I don't think it'd be mad if we did. And just to see what, but it actually, I was like, it's not a bad tune. I mean, I don't know rap, so maybe somebody else will be like, oh, that was garbage. But I thought it was pretty good. Well, at least this cracker thought it was pretty good. So then I was looking at oh God, the Titans was so bad. The Titans did a parody of a pharmaceutical commercial and called it Schedule Rizzy. The problem is the Titans stink so bad it was hard to take seriously, but it was very well made. It was just dumb. And the Commandos did a roller coaster tycoon sort of video game thing. Tampa Bay Buccaneers had John Gruden come in with the box, and I thought it was going to be Frank Caliendo, but then it wasn't. It was actual John Gruden, because it turns out it's cheaper to get actual John Gruden than Frank Caliendo.
Frank's
no
right
kidding.
now. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know Frank is local, and I think I had him on the show once a million years ago.
Yeah.
But
I think I was here when you did.
well, I felt like there's not a reason to do it again. Once you heard John Madden and Gruden and all that, I kind of see.
He does a mean Morgan Freeman.
Oh, really?
Yes, he does. He does a great Morgan Freeman, and he does a good Chuck.
Now you have my attention with the Morgan Freeman one, but I've heard the Chuck one. He did that on the show too. Anyway, so some of these were good. Some of these were not great. The Giants kind of fell flat with their little up front. You know, that's what they call it when the networks come out and try to tell you what all the shows are going to be on the network during that. It was like an upfront promo, and it was like, ugh, you know. The Miami Dolphins, what the hell was that? I still don't understand what theirs was. Now the Rams did a good one with Brenda Song. She's the gal who's on the that Lakers parody TV show with Kate Hudson. I forgot what it's called already, but she's really good.
Running Point or something.
Yeah, and then my Colts started with a Minecraft thing, and they didn't steal it from the Chargers. They just had the same idea at the same time. But I think I didn't watch the Chargers one yet. But was that snarky? Was there good snark? Because the Colts came out with snark when they did theirs.
You know, it usually there's about maximum 3 teams every year whenever they do these are the baby gender reveal of the NFL thing, right? Like this is like the weird video where you're like, take it or leave it. Those who really enjoy it. Those who don't, like, never watch it. But usually there's about three snarky ones to where they're asking for it, and it's never a good team.
Well, let me tell you this. Well, it's funny you said it's never a good team. You can kiss my ass. But the snarkiest one is probably the best one. I'm going to save that for last. Oh, wait, here comes Randy with the
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Play the Cardinals thing.
I was okay.
We're not going to listen to all of it because it gets kind of
get a little
repetitive.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I am so sorry.
Does anybody know who that is? That's actually doing the rap song.
The man is in the building.
I guess
I'm not sure who this is.
All right, crank it up.
K1 told me what's the play. Let's find two things, then we off the Tampa Bay. Let the Superdome on the road against the Saints. Cheese in the safe at the crib, Green Bay. Get in the field, you know the boys make it happen.
Hey, listen, I like this.
Because it get cold in Cincinnati. The Bird Gang get home against the Atlanta Falcons. Another fight I can't cowboy hat because we in Dallas. Yeah, we scrap it up, get ready to battle. Hit so hard like we had 12 men in Seattle. Levi's on, quick trip to the 49ers. Before I leave the house, I made sure I grabbed my Bible. Told bro to tighten up, cause Tennessee home. The next week, I could be in the business opponent though. So fly, and lay on the road. And Lucas all against the coast, it'll be a show. Now we on to the bye week.
He looks like a player.
With the fam and get off our feet.
I think it is.
But you best believe I'm looking on the next week. The jam came to our home, I told coach to send me. 1, 2, 3, knock him down. 4, 5, 6, in and out. 7, 8, 9. Tap out, you wonder what the hype out, then come around and find out. 1, 2, 3.
I think you want to do F around and find out, but they wouldn't let him.
Yeah, no.
In and out, 7, 8. Can't forget the bye week through week 18. Check the schedule, we on time.
18 Bars music video.
All right, so that is
what that's called.
Cardinals linebacker Milk Wilson Sr.
What?
Yeah.
Milk Wilson Sr., not Junior, Senior.
Yeah, Senior. Yeah, he's that's why he's one of the players. That's why he looks like he's on there. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful job.
That was pretty damn good. But I mean, I'm not a rap fan, so I can't say if that was great or bad, but I wasn't offended.
Yeah, if you hand somebody the assignment and say, hey, here's our schedule release, make it good, that's about pretty darn well as good. Like, because what are you working with here? Like, you're not working with a lot. You're forced on the materials. That's pretty good.
Just wondering how soon these schedules actually drop, so these guys can get these videos done in time.
Yeah, probably a couple days before.
It would have to be more than a couple of days, don't you think?
It's been leaking out over like the last 2 or 3 days, so probably 2 or 3 days ago.
I would
say a week.
Yeah, I would dare to say that they know. I mean, everybody knows that every matchup that every team's going to have going into the season.
Yeah, you already know, just don't know the time,
the date, the order, who's going where, all that stuff. So I think that they knew pretty close to the end of the Super Bowl once the team was like, all right, let's figure out our TV schedules and it lines up. Okay, about a month out, here you guys go. Figure it out on your own. That way you can have some fun with it.
So the Patriots had the guy from Barstool Sports come out, and it was actually he was crapping all over every single team. And of course, like Randy, he liked to see his team undefeated at the end. Yeah. But there were some, I'm surprised the Patriots let this go out.
Really?
It was very Boston, and he crapped on everybody.
Oh,
every
really?
team
Okay.
out there. A couple of teams he's like, they're not too bad. But then, so New Orleans Saints, horrible. They had Kellen Moore come out and had his anger translator behind him. But it wasn't Michael Keegan. It wasn't Michael Keegan-Key. It was just some guy. So it's like, well, that didn't help. And then, well, let me tell you, you want to know the best one? It's going to hurt your heart. The absolute best one was the Seattle Seahawks.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a toy commercial. And man, that was some well done writing, where they crapped all over the 49ers and, the way they messed with, and I'm sorry, Randy, they took a shot at Kyler Murray that was epic. It was very well done. Very well done. You should watch that one.
Oh,
that
wow.
one
This is a vintage, like imagine looking at the Power Rangers commercials back in the day, when I was growing up. That's what this vibe is giving. This is excellent.
No, it was so well done and very smartly written. And I'm sorry, Randy, it doesn't make me happy to know that the Seahawks had the best hype video.
Congratulations, Ralph. This is the only thing your Seahawks are winning this year.
They also made fun of themselves at the same time with because it was all these toys, right? And they also had like an old bathroom with the powdered soap, from the stadium kind of thing. So you should really take a look at it. It's very good. But when it came to the Colts, yes, the Colts were the one that's getting all the news right now, and I think it's lame. I think it's lame. Everybody's upset about this. So here's what happened. They originally did a Minecraft thing, and then somebody stepped in and said, "Oh my God, get rid of that." And then they came back and did something lame with somebody drew some little pictures and then asked the players who, if they knew who they were playing. And it just dumb. There was no reason to get rid of the original version. And the reason they got rid of the original version in the Minecraft, sort of vibe video, the very first week, Colts are playing the Dolphins. And so what they had was a little dolphin, and it said Hill on its head. And as it was trying to swim, it was immediately pulled over by the Coast Guard and arrested.
Oh, what the hell's wrong with that?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, if you recall, Tyreek Hill got arrested on his way to the stadium last year. That's
right. So he's on his way,
yeah.
And he gets arrested. So then it shows the Cardinals, Kyler Murray as a chicken jockey. He's a little Kyler Murray on a chicken.
Why not?
By the way, the Seahawks thing, they disrespect, I think, Kyler Murray even worse. You'll have to see it to really believe it. But then Patrick Mahomes, a frog that jumps into a boxing ring to stop a fight between his dad and John Rocker.
That's funny.
I was able to put the link up on my my Twitter, whatever you want. So if you go to the Twitter or the X, am at the Jeffrey O'Brien, and you can just scroll down and see it right there. But it's funny. I think this was on purpose by the Colts. I think the Colts, they released this thing, acted like, oh, geez, we got to get rid of this. And then they apologized to Hill. They apologized to the Dolphins. And, of course, now they put up their little lame thing. But now, everybody's going back like I did and finding because, once it's out there, it's forever. People will download it and repost it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Colts. Actually, a lot of this Minecraft video is pretty biting, and ripping on people. But I need to go and look at the Chargers one. Is that one biting, or is it? I don't know if it's any good or not. I have to watch it during the break, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it. I mean, this one feels just specifically making light of a very serious situation, and in all, to be fair here, Tyreek Hill did come out and say,
yes,
I didn't take this serious. I thought
here's what he said, because they of course involved his agent and they brought him in, and then they issued the apologies. But then Tyreek Hill went on Twitter and says, "Should have left it up, Colts. This was funny." So everybody had a nice laugh about it, but for whatever reason, and I think the reason they pulled it, guess what? We're all talking about the Colts now, aren't we?
Yep.
I think this was a calculated move by whoever is running stuff over there.
Well, it's going to be one of the lone pieces of the entire season where the Colts actually run to the top of our gathered attention here.
I can't even defend it. What you're saying, unfortunately,
they've got
I don't know.
This moment, and then the next moment is going to be who wins the quarterback competition between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, because it's one of the few. It's one of I think two. Right? I mean, even the Vikings were going to probably set in one. So it's probably Cleveland Browns quarterback situation, and then the Indianapolis Colts situation. Those are probably it. And usually that for the offseason dominates a lot of interest. After that, once we actually get into the season, Colts aren't going to have much to talk about.
All right, Phil, go ahead and take a look at the schedule. We did the Cardinals yesterday. We don't need to go through game by game. Although, Randy, I would like to know what your number is.
Yeah.
So yesterday, off air, Harris and I talked about this, and I kind of looked through and I gave my Colts 7 wins on the season. And he gave them 9, which was really surprising to me. I was not expecting to be over 500. And then I see now the over-under is actually at 7.5. So I'm taking the under with 7. Harris is taking the over with 9. What are you thinking about this schedule? I'll let either Phil or Randy, kind of glance through and tell me what they think. But I do think we beat the Titans twice.
For the Colts?
Yeah.
For the Colts, I really it depends. I think the best outlook of this season is if somehow Anthony Richardson does win that job. I don't think so. I don't think Daniel Jones comes back comes to Indianapolis without some soft guarantee to at least start a game. At least in the beginning. I think that it's somewhat rigged towards him, which is fine. If we're looking around, I mean, again, not going through game by game, I think it's a pretty fine schedule. You're getting a 4th place schedule here, and
we have the 8th easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at it, 49ers, I'm pretty much penciling that in as a loss there for you. The Chiefs.
Oh, I did too.
Chiefs, I'd put that, especially at the Chiefs, I pencil that in as a loss. Rams, I pencil that in as a loss. So you got essentially 3 built-in losses here. And then the Steelers, that depends a lot on
I'm taking
Aaron
that
Rodgers.
as a win.
It depends if Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Currently constructed,
I say either way.
Yeah.
My defense is not bad.
Yeah. And then the Falcons, don't know how that's going to go. But look, you like your own division, right? That is the division, if you want to have a team in, that's the one that you want, because it's one of the easier ones. Even the Texans, they look weak as a division winner, and they don't look like they improved much in the offseason.
Can I tell you what I did on the division? Yeah. I just split it. I split it just out of conservative thinking. So that's also how I came up with 7 by splitting. I give a win to the Colts over the Steelers and the Falcons, but the only other wins are the Titans twice, Houston once, and I had Jacksonville twice. Outside of that, no, I think everybody's going to beat the Colts.
Yeah, I think it really depends on how you see yourself within the division. I think that they are certainly possible to win this division, and that seems to be the safest way for them to make it, obviously for everybody, but for them, I don't see them going much higher than that. Look at the Cowboys, they could possibly make it in as a wild card within their own division, whereas the Colts, they feel like they need to win it. I wonder, the Jaguars have made an announcement subconsciously saying that we think that we are good enough to win now. Travis Hunter puts us over the edge. That is what their moves and on draft day 2024.
Yeah, the guy is great, but he can't play every position, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are still going to just sort of languish.
See, that's the thing, is even if he doesn't play everything, with that move, they announced that they think they are good enough to win this year right now. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it, But if they are that good, now you have two teams that are in that same arena with you that you're going to be in high. Like you have the Titans. I don't know. I don't know if you can sweep them even.
Over under. What do you got? 7.5 wins. I'm saying under with 7.
I think under. I do think
under with what?
I think 6.
Okay. How about you, Randy?
I got you at 9 wins, so I'm going to take the over.
So you're agreeing with Harris.
I've got you at 9 wins, Jeffco, and I think the fact that you play Jacksonville twice, I think San Francisco is down. I think you catch Atlanta in Berlin. They're going to be over there. Pittsburgh is down. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I feel like you're going to be you are going to have 9 wins.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Daniel Jones seems like a soft guarantee.
Yeah, I like I said, I think that he feels like he's the starter. He's the starter unless he is just that bad. If he is truly bad, or Anthony Richardson can at least throw the ball beyond 10 yards and accurately so. We know that he has the arm power to do so. If he can, then maybe. But I feel like Daniel Jones was certainly brought in to say, we'll give you a real shot.
I thought he was brought in to say, let's get Arch Manning. Chosen One says Colts video was awesome with Mock and Tyreek Hill. Chargers was also awesome with the dig on the Raiders. I better go take a look at that. We got to take a break. When we come back, we'll pick it back up. I want to take a look at the Broncos. I want to get Phil's take on the Cardinals, and we'll let you guys have your say about your schedules. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Most unique field, featuring a link to the folks who represent the lifeblood of the game, your local club pro. 20 PGA of America golf professionals make up the Corebridge Financial team. They earn their spot through the PGA Professional Championship, this year played at PGA Golf Club in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Tyler Cullett never had to sweat his spot at Quail Hollow. He won the PGA Professional title by a record-setting 10 strokes. Cullett is the assistant pro at John's Island Club in Vero Beach, about 15 miles away. And Blocky is back too. Michael Block, who memorably tied for 15th at Oak Hill 2 years ago, also made a hole-in-one when he was paired with Rory McIlroy, is in the PGA Championship for a 4th straight year. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
There are low prices, and then there are Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I got myself a comfy tee for just $4.99 and a stylish dress for 50% off. Then I found my husband a pair of shorts for under $17. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash. Yup, it doesn't get better than Kohl's lowest prices of the season. So go check them out before it's too late. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end May 18th. See store at Kohls.com for details.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Just Tip says, I love the authenticity of this show. No BS, complete transparency. For example, Phil's voice sounding exactly like one would think someone so into Speedos would sound like.
Yeah, my voice is not the only thing transparent.
Hey now.
Yeah, that's why, no, just keep the pants on.
Yeah.
Fish Tank says the Jags last year lost to the Browns, Bears, Jets, and Raiders. Yeah, the Jags aren't even close to winning now.
Keep in mind that Trevor Lawrence was injured towards the last third of that season, and they certainly did not have the leadership that they think that they have with Liam Cohen. So we'll see.
Pro Dog says, by the way, so you understand, a lamb is a young sheep, and mutton is mature.
So they are one in this. It's like a deer and a doe. So it's the same thing, just at a different age. Okay.
They were riding sheep, but it was a mutton. It was mutton busting. Wasn't lamb busting.
Okay.
Yeah, Hurry Harry says, I think that 18 Bars band is made up of Cardinal X players. Yeah, Harry, tell me you're white without telling me you're white. Yeah, the 18 Bars band. That's right. They all got together with their instruments. No, it was rap, Harry. Yeah, it's rap. Moist One says, "Oh, Phil, my heart is so full to hear your voice."
Hello, welcome.
Who said that?
Moist One. That was the cleanest thing you're going to hear him say today. Lost Toby says Harris gave his balls a tug, huh? I don't know. By the way, I took a look at the Tennessee Titans schedule. To be nice, I gave him 4 wins.
Wow, really?
Yeah. What do you guys think? 4 wins is what I've got there.
It's hard. Whenever you get a new quarterback, especially in the form of the draft, I usually give you like just 3 losses to start out the year, regardless, because it's going to take them 3 losses before you even get used to the NFL.
Now the over/under is 5.5, Phil, and it's 5.5, and they have the 4th easiest schedule, but still, I'm giving them under with 4 wins.
Well, you know that they're starting out with a loss. They're in Denver at Mile High, loss right there.
Well, it's just true. I mean, your team has gotten better. So
absolutely. I mean, where even with the Titans, the teams that you begin to say, they got a puncher's chance. Not even like that. You think that they'll win because
here's the wins I gave them, Phil.
All right,
Raiders.
I agree.
Jaguars.
Really?
I don't know that I agree.
Browns. Saints.
Saints, yes.
So that's it. They're going to split with the Jaguars, by the way.
See, I
think
gave
that they're
them,
less than the Patriots.
I gave them.
I think the Patriots are going to be better this year, at least better than the Titans.
I think they beat the Saints for sure. I think they beat the Browns for sure.
Everyone's going to beat the Saints because they really won Arch Manning, and they're not even being shy about it.
I was going to say, who do you guys believe will be the worst team in the NFL? Because I find
the Saints are trying to be.
I think the Saints in Tennessee is going to be right there.
See,
Steelers are kind of trying to be too.
I don't think so.
It depends.
It depends on if Aaron Rodgers shows up.
Agree. I wonder, because the way that this is just a big math equation in my mind, where it's find out who you think is going to be the best team, who will dominate the team in the regular season, which you look at like the Lions. Normally you'd look at like the 49ers, you look at like teams like that where you're like, okay, pencil them in, Chiefs, you look, and then you work on the other end and you say, who do I think is going to be the worst? And then you kind of then build out the schedule from there, doing a tic-tac-toe Sudoku puzzle where you're like, all right, if I go, this team will win or this team will lose, and all that stuff. So I think you're absolutely right. In the New Orleans Saints, one sneaky team that I think could be absolutely just moribund, just absolutely horrible, is the Miami Dolphins.
But I really need my team to be the worst because we really should have Arch Manning.
Titans have 4 wins that I see. When I look at this, Titans have 4 wins. That's it. I don't see anything else on here. Of course, they're not going to win to the mighty Arizona Cardinals. They're not gonna win at Houston or Houston at home. They're not going to beat the Seattle Sea Chickens as much as I would love for them to annihilate them. They're not going to win against the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry. I feel like Pete Carroll and the Pete Carroll effect is going to bring the Raiders up 2 notches in the first season. I feel like the Titans have 4 wins.
All right, Phil, what do you say? How many wins? Just
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over on whatever their number is because
you have to know what it is to know if you're going over. So pick a number.
I'll go 5.
Guess what? The over would be 6 because it's the over under is 5.5.
I'll go 6.
My God!
The one just changed it from 5 to 6 just to say you're going to take the over.
Because I told you I'm taking whatever the over is because there are people making these lines that are far smarter than me. So I'm going to go the over. The reason why is because do I think that they'll take out the Rams? No. Do I think that they'll take out the Broncos on opening day? No. But there are teams here that they will
allowed to do that.
Well, there you go.
I should make you say 5.
I got the Saints. I agree with you. I think the Saints are in contention for the number 1 overall pick next year in the 2026 draft. I think Patriots, that's a toss-up. Raiders, who knows if by then. I mean, the Geno Smith and the Raiders, they should be respectable, so I don't know there. Cardinals, as much as Randy might not want, I think that is a go either way game. And
my God.
Texans division game, for whatever reasons, it's like a tic-tac-toe thing. Paper beats rock beats scissors in that division where the Titans can somehow always beat can always beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars can always beat the Colts, and the Colts can always beat the Titans. So I have no idea how that shapes out.
All right, so I think that I really just want to write 5 because that was what you said first. But okay, really quickly, here's where we are with the Cardinals schedule. I said 9. I'm taking the over. The over/under is 8.5 wins. Randy took the over with 17 wins.
Yeah.
And Harris took the under. He's saying 6 wins. So where
Which
does
I'm still frosty about, by the way.
Where does Filthy Phil fall in when it comes to the Cardinals wins?
I don't see where the Cardinals truly improved. I think that they worked around the edges. I think that they made a more solidified roster. But if you look at nothing they did made me think, oh, they massively improved. They had Kyler Murray all last year. They had Mike Jr. over there on the wide receiving side of the ball. There's nothing that they did that made me truly.
Jr.?
Yeah.
You mean Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison Jr. Yes. M Jr. over there. They had him in the entire year. Maybe you're thinking that Marvin Harrison has grown into a better player, like the prospect that he was supposed to be this year, I suppose. But the chemistry certainly didn't look like it. I don't know what's supposed to have changed that drastically moved them up in there, and their division seemed to only get harder. So I'm going to go under.
All right, how many wins?
If I'm going to carry the 2, I'm going to go with 6. 5. Let's go with 5.
So
5.
5 or 6. Make a decision.
I'm going with 5. I'm going with 5.
Wow, you're the oof.
The losses got to go somewhere. I can't go over on every team.
Did we talk about what you thought about yours?
We have not.
So let's
of course
take a
his
look
team
at
is
this.
going to be great, and they've made all the right picks, and they're going to go over
Randy.
whatever the rest of the people in the universe are
Randy,
saying about
We've always made it clear that everybody has a blind spot to their own team.
Braun chickens. Yeah.
So taking a look here now, the Broncos, they are a greatly improved team.
Yes.
I'll give you credit for that. I don't know if they're as greatly improved as, say, ESPN thinks, because they've set the over/under on your wins at 9.5.
Oh yeah, I mean even
you have the 15th hardest strength of schedule, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Here's the Broncos this year are going to be the Kirk Cousins of the NFL, meaning that they are the Mason Dixon line of like, if you can beat the Broncos, you're going to be a pretty darn good team. If you can't beat the Broncos, you got to retool the roster. Something's missing on you because the Broncos are not truly amazing in any aspect. They don't have a Derrick Henry. They don't have a Lamar Jackson. They don't have Patrick Mahomes anywhere like on this, to where it's like, oh, they have the best of the league here. What they do have is an incredibly solid roster, very little holes in the entire team. So with that being said, I think 10 is completely achievable. And honestly, one of the best bets that I think can be had this year is they have these bets available for the last team to remain undefeated. Not necessarily that they'll go 17-0, but teams that will be undefeated to the latest point, or at least tie with other teams while everybody else loses. I think that the Broncos can do that. I think that is on the best value bets along there because whenever you look at their first three teams, they have the Titans, should be a win. Colts should be a win. Chargers, you feel iffy about a division game, but that is winnable, and it's at the Chargers where that seems to be an away home game.
I'm giving you 8 wins.
8 wins. Get out of here.
I just went ahead.
Get out of here.
I'm taking the under. I'm giving you 8.
I want whatever you're smoking. My 8 wins.
Write this down so I can call you
write
up
that
and
down
yell at you.
in concrete.
Oh, yeah.
8 wins. I hope that a piece of thunder doesn't.
So I can't change mine to 9 if I feel like it, like you did.
You can go to 9. You can go to 9. I still think below double digits is disrespectful. Barring a Bo Nix injury, praise be to Jesus. Hopefully it doesn't happen. If that does not happen, double digits is in our future.
Well, okay. So what is your prediction?
I'm going to go 11, challenging for the division crown here. I do think that the Chiefs have a tremendously hard schedule, and it just kind of is going to work out in ties.
You could listen to remember Sean Crespin?
Yes.
Oh my God, that guy, he knew sports too. Oh, he would talk sports, and we would have fun talking sports. But anytime the Raiders came up, he became the biggest dope because he had such a blind spot to his Raiders to listen to him talk. So it's like total respect. He talks about Raiders, no respect. Just lost all of his credibility when it comes to talking about the Raiders.
6.
Speaking, that's what you are right now with the Broncos, by the way.
7.
Can I I will offer
11
an equal balancing act is I don't think that they are championship contenders. Like I don't think that they are a threat to actually win the Super Bowl. Does that at least
I give you the compliment that if anyone's going to be sneaky and actually find their way there, it could be the Broncos.
It would have to be a perfect break. Like somebody would have to take down this guy to take down that guy on the other side, and we just got
Who's
good
their
matchups.
quarterback again?
Bo Nix.
Bo who?
How dare you? That is the oldest college player in NFL.
Yeah, Randy. It's Michael Bo Nix Jr.
I've got 6 wins for the Denver Broncos, and there will be a meltdown. There will be a meltdown towards the
Phil
end of the
just had
season.
a stroke.
The Commandos, the Raiders, the Packers, the Chiefs, and then the Chargers are 4 of the last 5 games after your bye week. There will be a meltdown. I got what did I say? 5 wins? 5 wins. 5.
You said 6. 5.
Now I say 5.
5.
I looked on there and you're playing the Eagles. It's 5 wins, and you guys are going to be horrible. And Bo Nix is going to get injured in Game 4.
Sean Payton.
I have predicted
why
it.
would you put that out there that
So
someone's
it
going to get
is.
injured?
So it says. So it shall be.
Well, all this is
Well,
with
after
the
his
Astros.
That's dirty.
his lame malarkey about my Cardinals, I don't see where they got better. Okay, 5
You guys
wins.
don't even play each other.
Yeah, 5 wins. I don't even care. 5 wins for the Denver Bozos.
Oh, I will say if this is all with the asterisk of if starting quarterbacks go down and it's not a quarterback competition.
Now we're going to go asterisks now, are we?
Yeah.
Phil?
If Bo Nix goes down one game into the season, I may not feel quite as confident that they're going to win double digits. However,
Bo Nix was so great last season. I see.
The same thing could be said about Kyler Murray. Could be
of
said about
course.
any main quarterback.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
but I'm not baking that in. And so if
Jeffrey, I'm not speaking to him for the rest of the show either.
Sean Payton is coming to your house, sir, and going to give you a rundown on the Cheesecake Factory menu that he has to make sure
That's because he's going to need a job at the Cheesecake Factory
Oh,
after he
my.
loses again this season.
If you ever had the pleasure, the absolute blessing of Sean Payton to cook for you, good sir, you would be gobsmacked.
I could outsmack.
Wait.
I could outcook Sean Payton
When
with
did
one
you have
arm
Sean
behind
Payton
my
cook
back.
for you, Phil?
He cooked me up to the playoffs last year is what he cooked me, and it was delicious.
Oh,
Yum, yum,
oh,
yum.
the
Give me
metaphor.
more.
There it was. Yeah.
That's what he cooked me. 3-course dinner. And give me a little creme fraiche.
Buffalo Mike says Triple H, the Broncos have the defensive MVP, and it's actually not Triple H, it's Triple P today.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
He says they have the defensive MVP in PS2. So they do have an outstanding player. The floor for the Broncos is 9 wins. Look at their schedule. Cardinals
my
win
God.
what? I call a Kyler.
Oh,
Just
my
under
God.
6. LOL.
Oh my God.
The Broncos
oh,
are going to just be incredibly solid. Like I don't have any delusions of grandeur that they're going to make any noise in the playoffs. Like they might take a step to like maybe like best conference championship, but that's about it.
I need to download this tomorrow,
wins.
and I need to clip this audio.
Please. Please.
I'm going to clip this
As
audio.
God as my witness.
I am going to clip it, and I'm
The
going
Denver
to use it against
Bocos
you.
are going to go to glory,
I wrote
which
notes.
is the postseason.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
God.
My notes will be here for the entire year. So
Good.
Wow. I just hope that we don't embarrass the Chiefs when we sweep them. My God.
Oh,
My God.
and he's calling a sweep on the Chiefs.
My God. Patrick Mahomes retired now.
I am so clipping this audio.
You know what this is like? This is like Babe Ruth pointing up to the grandstands on his deathbed. That's calm down. Take it easy. Calm down. It's okay. Go into the light. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about now that we've dissected the schedule, and we'd love to hear from you guys on your schedules too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-549-8866. That's 800-549-8866.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere at 1580thefanatic.com. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So let's go on over to the old text line and see what people have to say about their schedules. And we have some other tidbits for you about the NFL schedule in general. Slow-Mo Zoe says, how about the poor Giants? Boy, I don't see any wins for them. Well, come on now. Who's their quarterback now? They got some people.
They got Jackson Dart, who's probably going to be sitting behind Russell Wilson to start out the season.
Russ Wilson, yeah.
Let's go Big Blue.
They're beating the Dallas Cowboys, that's for sure, because everybody is with a damn giant club. Let's see, 1, 2, maybe.
All right, so I'm trying to get out of the Denver Broncos screen here. I'm stuck.
I've got maybe 6 wins for the Giants this year.
6 wins.
Yeah, maybe 6.
And you only gave the Broncos 5, huh?
Yeah, well, that's because Phil
I've got
misspoke about my Arizona Cardinals.
I've got like 6 to 7 wins
See?
for the Giants.
See, and Phil and I are on the same.
Yes,
we're on the same plane here.
Now, I'm not sure why what gives Randy the confidence for 6 to 7 wins, but for me, one thing I do like is that what are the 2 keys to getting just cheap victories in the NFL? One is
Russ
having
Wilson.
No. That's
Number one, Russ.
But that's
number
cheap
2,
yards.
Wilson.
That's
What?
cheap yards to get in the
okay.
NFL.
All
But no, not Russell Wilson moonballing.
All right.
And what is Russell Wilson? If you have a tremendous quarterback back there, a la Patrick Mahomes is going to give you double-digit wins just by himself. A la Lamar Jackson is an offense unto himself. Joe Burrow, yada yada yada. If you don't have that, which the New York Giants at least don't have to start out the season with Russell Wilson, what they do have is a way to get to your quarterback. They have just a tremendous defensive line, maybe nothing else. But if nothing else, they have that. I think that they have a way to possibly, if this defensive line stays healthy, have a way to disrupt the the opposing quarterback each and every play of each and every game, which I think alone can just win you some games with poor offensive line play that has plagued the NFL in recent years.
So how many wins for the Giants?
I'm going to go at least 6 with an optimistic.
You are high.
I know I'm high, but I think I'm high on the over under. That's all that I'm high on.
We're high on life, Jeff.
Even with the 32nd hardest schedule.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that means the easiest.
That is.
Yeah. They're not going to get more than 5 wins.
Look at
okay, the Saints.
Maybe 4.
The Saints is one.
Saints is a win.
Yeah.
The Saints want to give them the win.
I think the Bears is a win. Bears is a win.
Could be.
I think the Bears is a win. I think the New England Patriots is a win. And
no guarantee on that one.
And you got the Dallas Cowgirls again at the end of the season.
I think
and you have them early on in the season.
Listen, I know the Cardinals. I'm sorry, the Cardinals. The Cowboys end up disappointing everybody, and they can't get out of their own way. But I feel like they're going to win more games than you think they're going to.
And the other one is I've got 2 teams here in both the Chiefs and the 49ers. What do those 2 teams have in common? They have poor offensive line play as of right now. And especially the 49ers are going to be middle of the season. Trent Williams may be injured by that point. I mean, you hate to put injury into that. I know that Randy is totally fine with that when it comes to the Denver Broncos. But for the 49ers, I think given his medical history, given his age, Trent Williams, I think that's something to say. And when he goes down, their numbers as an entire offense go plummeting. So I think that there are 2 upsets there that may on paper seem outrageous to start out the year.
The only problem with that is they picked up, what was that guy's name? The offensive lineman.
Bob Bobberoff?
No, it wasn't Bob Boberson. It was
Bob
Kansas
Babbitt.
City Chiefs. Gosh, Blake.
The Kansas City Chiefs picked up the backup left tackle from the 49ers, if that's what you're talking about. He was backing up Trent Williams, which is like, if you're going to be a backup, I'm not sure.
I don't know who we're talking about anymore.
I'm not either. My point remains, though, is that I think that there are teams that they can win just off the strength of their defensive line alone.
Hey, Randy, who are we talking about?
I was talking about the Chiefs, and I was talking about who was the Chiefs player that they just kind of picked up to help with the Trent Williams thing, and I can't think of his name right now, and I'm having a hard time with it. And so
I think you're looking at
your day.
I think you're looking at Jalen Moore.
Lost Toby has a few things to say. He says, I think the Giants are going to be the worst team with 3 wins. And he also wants to know, when do you think they'll get their first win? Well, if you listen to Randy, it'll be week 2 against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like their first win will come week 5 against the Saints.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm thinking that they can go 2-2 to start out the season with a win at the Cowboys. I think that the Cowboys got dealt an unfortunate slate here. Where they start out the year in Brazil against the Eagles and then have to come back home to face a ferocious Giants line.
What did he say?
Brazil.
Something about Brazil.
And then again against the Chiefs, who I wonder whether or not they can get their offensive line woes solved within the first 3 weeks of the year. I don't know.
It says next to the game with the Chiefs that it's not safe for work. No, I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic. It's Saturday Night Football. That's what that means.
Yes.
Okay. Also, Lost Toby fires a shot across Phil's bow. Denver will have double-digit losses.
Oh, get out
that's
of
true.
here.
You will have double-digit losses.
That is outrageous. This is this is insulting to Sean Payton, the Hall of Fame coach that we have, the Orange Crush that we have at the helm of Vance Joseph, our defensive coordinator, once head coach. Are you kidding me?
Very good head coach.
Josh
He was not a good head
Simmons,
coach.
the rookie that they drafted 32nd overall.
Yeah,
Josh
Josh
one says
Simmons.
Randy. Yes, it's Josh Simmons
Thank you.
from Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. Josh Simmons, the big kid, who's going to play. He's going to jump in. He's going to play a lot of snaps. This kid is ready. He's pro ready to go. And that's why the Kansas City Chiefs went after him in the first round. Thank you very much.
Fish Tank says, Phil, the Dolphins will be bad, but they will not be the worst team in the league. Even though my typical pessimism is always there, the Dolphins will have 8 wins, just like the Broncos.
No, get out of here. I think that the Dolphins have a path to where they are the worst team in the league, to where, you know, if Tua gets another concussion, whether that be week 1, whether that be week 17, I think at that point, just as how we've had in the past 2 times, we will have a career talk about whether or not he should retire. And if that comes in week 1, they look towards middle of the season where they would try and trade Tyreek Hill to get some value out of this iteration of the Miami Dolphins.
I feel like until Tua Tagovailoa is ready to quit playing football, he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins unless they come in and feel like he's unable to do so.
Well,
Even
Randy, if you give him the schedule, you'll have him with a concussion in week 8.
Well, even if he comes back, if he gets a concussion, I still feel like the Dolphins are going to want him to be their starting quarterback. Hell's bells, they've built the entire offense around him, haven't they?
Yeah, well, they certainly brought in a lot of pieces to help him. That's for sure. And I'm not saying that they, given their druthers, would not want to keep him as their starting quarterback. But if he gets another concussion, at some point, you have to think about your long-term health, man.
Fish Tank says, hold on. If the Saints are trying to be the worst team to get Arch Manning, why did they take a quarterback in the second round? They should have just ran Rattler out there this year because they have to look like they're trying, Fish Tank. And also classic misdirection.
I think they're going to put Rattler out there to start for sure now that Derek Eiliner Carr has called it a career.
Fish Tank says, Phil, you must have forgotten that we got Zach Wilson behind Tua right now.
Hey, we had him last year, and the best thing about him was that he never played.
Bruno Baller says, is this the first year of only 2 preseason games, or did they start that last year? I think it's still 3. It's still 3.
I'm pretty sure
it's
still
3.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. According
Until
to
it goes 18 games.
According to what I see, it's still 3. Yeah.
The Jet says, I hate that my Redbirds are going to be contributing to the stupid Cowboys and all the damn primetime games they get. It's about 5 years in a row where Dallas has more primetime games than anyone else, and they suck. Well, here the good news is the Titans and the Saints and the Browns have no primetime games, and it just makes me giggle. Just the Tip says, hey, you want to put some money on something? Put some money on the Giants at 7+ wins. Right now, the odds are crazy, not too far out of touch. They don't have Daniel Jones anymore. Think of that benefit.
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson is probably a bottom third of the quarterback rankings that is possible right now. But that being said, look at the quarterbacks that they were rushing out there last year. I don't even think that they were starter worthy quarterbacks. I mean, Daniel Jones did not have a chance out there, and who knows whose fault that falls upon. I don't think that they had a grown up offense. Now this year, I think it's possible. It's within the realm of possibility that you have Malik Neighbors and you have Russell Wilson are a match made in heaven for a speedy guy who can catch the long ball from Russell Wilson, who's not immature like George Pickens, and they can just finesse their way to a couple of unexpectedly good season for them.
Cringe level high. Sir Drives a Lot says, boo, Denver. Guess he's not a Denver fan.
We're used to it. Usually
Chosen
when
One
in opposing stadiums.
Chosen One says, bold prediction. Phil will like this. Denver will have a top 5 defense and challenge Chiefs for the division. Bo Nix is solid, and that defense is scary.
I agree. Like I don't know. I think that they challenge them certainly for the division. I don't see championship, but I very much believe that this team is just very well made around the edges. I love what they did in the offseason. It's a nice, fun team to have.
So in 2023, did this really happen? The Dolphins beat the Broncos 70-20.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. That was a very bad day, and I try to forget it each and every night. And I wake up in a cold sweat.
You go to sleep at night crying.
Mike McDaniels.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised I got that from Baker's Cocky Hens and not Fish
Yeah.
Tank. Fish Tank should have a tattoo of that on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moist One says Dolphins should trade for Dylan Gabriel from the Browns. It'd be like having two Tuas.
Exactly. Yeah, they'll probably be able to get Kenny Pickett on the cheap for a 7th rounder or something.
Meaning that they both have a lot of concussions, or
That's
what do you
I
mean by
thought,
that?
isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Ringless Joe says the Lions and Bears will battle for the division week 18. Goff will get his revenge on Ben Johnson, secure the Lions' 3rd straight NFC North title. That is Ringless Joe's.
Wow.
What does
prediction.
Goff need to get revenge on Ben Johnson?
No idea. All right, guys, that's hour 1 down, and we got more to talk about when we come back. So don't go nowhere, or unless you're trying to drive home, then go there. But you know what I mean.
Sports presents this special report on the 107th PGA Championship, furnished by University of Maryland Global Campus. Two-time PGA champion Justin Thomas needed some sorcery on the closing hole. He hit his approach left of the green, inches from the creek, and close to a boulder, leading to an awkward stance, with Thomas taking off his left shoe and sock and putting his bare foot on the edge of the stream. Could he even shovel it onto the putting surface?
Thomas making rehearsals, puts the club down behind the golf ball. It makes contact, gets it onto the green. Wow, what a shot by Justin Thomas. Able to pull that off, and Thomas will have inside 20 feet left for par.
Taylor Zarza the call on Sirius XM. Thomas missed that par putt, but saved his bogey. 2 over 73 for JT. He's 7 off the lead, held by Cam Davis and Ryan Gerard, both 5 under. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Do you love the game of golf? Do you live it, breathe it, stay up all night thinking about it? As a PGA of America golf professional, you can turn your love of golf into a career. Whether you're passionate about helping others improve their game, putting innovations to work that drive the sport forward, or promoting a more equitable and inclusive golf community, earning a PGA of America membership can get you there. Join the more than 30,000 PGA of America golf professionals who love and lead the game of golf. Visit pga.com/workingolf to turn your passion into a profession.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-549-8866. That's 800-549-8866.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. It's back. The 3rd annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Filthy Phil to fill in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And before we jump back into this NFL stuff, let me just say, I was thinking, Randy, when I become emperor, I'm considering doing something that might be controversial.
Okay.
Most of my ideas and decrees when I become emperor are just about making life better for everyone.
Yes.
especially me, but
Yeah.
still for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of banning images created by AI.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, I will allow AI to continue to be conversational for people who are lonely, or to give you some input on. Like I've found with the more they've put AI into the Google search thing, it's a lot easier to find stuff now.
Oh yeah,
it's getting easier because it's you say, "Hey Google, where's this?" And they're like, "Google's stupid." Well, now Google has intelligence. They're like, "Oh, well, you know exactly what you're talking about," and I'm like, "All right, that's cool." I haven't been burned by it yet either, though.
So
but I think if we just let the Google talk, but I don't think we need to be making, because it's horrible. These videos and photos, and it takes away from real artists and stuff.
what do you have against me creating a Godzilla on a banana boat and a family photo, Jeffrey? What is so wrong about that?
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I don't know. I mean, because that's fun too. I get it. I gotcha. But you remember the old days? People just Photoshop that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I remember my mom was like the whiz of
Because
it.
you're bad at Photoshop. Now the rest of us have to see these horrible AI stuff images, and then pretty soon you won't be able to distinguish. Because right now I can hear, like if something has been created by AI, the audio when they have the people like talking, or if I see the photographs or stuff. 99% of the time I'm like, oof, that's AI. But I'm thinking about it.
Now, Jeffrey, I don't know if you caught this, if this has flown across your radar, but I guarantee that I have the story that will make you fall in love with AI, that you will be #1 AI guy. And I guarantee
I have a wife. I don't.
No, not that.
What?
Not that. There is a company that has patented the idea, that has copyrighted the idea of utilizing AI to bring in whatever your dog is barking and be able to have you interpret it, and then also be able to convey it back to them. And then it'll bark out whatever it is to them, so that way they understand, i.e. you become AI Dr. Doolittle. Does that not make
Do
you
I really want to know what my dog is thinking?
Well, the other side of that coin is they've done studies. You know those little buttons that dogs can push? Like 90% of them, about 17, like the most utilized button is always treats, treats, treats.
Right. I mean, my dogs give me the dirtiest looks when I don't let them get up and eat at the table. You know, they give me the dirtiest looks. And so I can't imagine that they're going to say anything other than, well, why can't we have food from the fridge?
Well, also, if all of a sudden you're coming out of the shower and then from an AI voice you hear, that's not going to really,
Or, ew.
Yeah.
Damn, dog.
And it's time to turn off your speak box.
No, listen, I can allow that because that's not a generated, photograph or fake this or fake that. I don't know. I'm considering it. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think you go with your first instinct, Jeffco.
The Jet says, Jeffrey, you're the Trump of radio hosting. I love it. I don't know. I want to be a beloved dictator. I don't want to just, I'm not trying to just take power. You, the public, have to give me that power and then trust that I will do well by you. And I will. I really will. I'll do really well by me, but I will also do very well by you. Just a Tip says, do you not remember Prohibition? If there's demand, the supply will be there. And there's a demand for AI. He says, plus Google sucks. He says, DuckDuckGo rules. I don't even know what that is, but I don't think people are clamoring for AI. It's just like, oh, this is cool. Okay. It's like any little app you might find on your iPhone, and then after a while you're like, okay, whatever.
Oh, Jeffrey, there are people that are clamoring, and those people are students who have to write essays. Those people are clamoring.
No,
for
I'm
AI.
not talking about that part. I'm talking about specifically the image generating part.
So did you get burned by this, or are you just worried about where it's going to end up?
No, I just don't. I'm not.
Because if all of a sudden somebody sees Jeffrey O'Brien in a Speedo on vacation in Cancun, that may or may not have been real, Jeffrey, you're going to want that AI out.
No, it'll never happen.
I don't need it to blame. It'll never happen in real life.
Maybe a slingshot, but never.
Is that a banana boat, or is Jeffrey just on vacation?
No. See, yeah, that's where it ends, my friend.
The Jet says, exactly. That was a compliment, Jeffrey. Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks. Anyway, that's just something I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about it.
I think it's good that you think
Aren't
about
you
these
tired
things.
of seeing the AI generated garbage
Absolutely.
that's all over the
Abs-
place now?
I'm tired of is being able to discern what is real and what is AI, and having faith in humanity that they too will be able to do that, and
You
then
won't be
failing
able
in that
forever.
Yeah. Oh no, it won't go on
Soon,
forever.
It'll be indistinguishable.
But as of right now, the things that people are getting away with and saying, "Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh my God, this person over
Did I
in
tell you
Florida."
what I was? Did I tell you what I was doing?
No.
Every time I saw an AI thing, I would go in there at first and say, "You idiots! This." I didn't say you idiots, but I say, "Hey, this is AI," and people got very angry at me. So I changed it. Whenever I see anything AI, I type in the comments, "Holy effing bleep!" Just "Holy effing bleep!" with exclamation points.
Which is code word for "Hey, this is AI." Yeah.
No, I just want them to go, yeah, and then go, "Oh, this is." I want people to realize it's fake and hate it themselves. So by acting like I think it's real, everything is real.
You're extending a hand to them in brotherhood. I appreciate that.
Trying to make them see.
Yep.
Why is this guy all like? Okay, yeah, that's not real. That's not real. All right, let's get back to the football stuff. Some text left over from the last hour. Lost Toby says Denver will lead the league in injuries. What is that? Why would you say that? Why?
Why he says that? I don't
Why
know
would
why.
you wish that?
I mean, there's two people. We got two of the injury-prone, excellent players out of San Francisco that San Francisco would have liked to have kept, but just simply couldn't afford. So maybe he's referring to them. But that being said, outside of them, that is just rude. There's not a lot of injury-prone players on our team, and to possibly put that hex,
Phil, they're
that
just trying
curse
to
on
get
us.
to you.
How dare you?
They're just trying to get to you.
Pox in your mouth, sir.
Hefty Lefty says Cam Ward got rewarded as the number one pick by getting a top 5 secondary week 1. Now that I say that, he'll probably show out with 500 yards and 3 touchdowns just to punish me for having expectations again. Hefty Lefty, also a Broncos fan.
Broncos fan, yeah.
God bless you.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, America is going to deal with AI just like they used to deal with copyright laws and slander laws. It'll be good for some stuff and legally liable. Just a Tip says, nothing online is real, period. So what am I supposed to believe?
I don't know.
Slow Mo Zo says, I got my Patriots maybe at 9 wins, maybe 10 wins, he says.
Patriots, you know what is the craziest thing is that you got a bunch of positive factors heading into the season. You got the second-year quarterback, which is great. Like if you look at the associations between a quarterback on a rookie contract heading into year 2, they have the maturation and they have the adjustments from year 1, usually improvements on that. And you add an improvement in head coach, which they undoubtedly are from going from Gerard Mayo to Mike Vrabel. My goodness, like sky should be the limit. But then again, you look at that skill position room and it's like Stephon Diggs. I don't like any of that. So it's so conflicting. It's not the most polarizing as far as win-loss totals. That would be the Steelers, where it's like I can see 2 completely different paths depending on what happens here in the remaining few days. But the Patriots, 9 wins, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but that feels
unlikely.
A bit optimistic. Yeah,
it is unlikely. Ringless Joe keeps sending the same text over and over again. That trick does not work here. I saw it the first time. And if you keep doing that, I might not see it the next or 3rd or 5th time.
Is it shirtless Geraldo in the bathtub?
No, that's Moisman that does it.
Oh, okay.
Ringless Joe says, what does Goff need revenge on Ben Johnson for?
See,
because Ben abandoned the Lions for the Bears, and then he had the audacity to go on an interview and throw shade at Jared, basically implying he's not a great quarterback because he's not mobile. Ben Johnson's a modern-day Benedict Arnold.
You know what? I haven't heard that clip. If that's true, he's not exactly wrong. Because really, I mean, part of the reason why Ben Johnson got the job and why he was seen as such an offensive wonderkind was that everybody was like collectively saying, you know what, Sean McVay did as much as you could do with Jared Goff and got to the Super Bowl and then came up dramatically short and gave up on him. You know who next got like the most out of Jared Goff and his talent was Ben Johnson. That guy must be really good. He must be like tremendous. So, you know what? I don't know. I could see it either way.
So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to schedule things for the NFL year here.
Sure.
And as you know, 15A The Fanatic is your home for Monday night, Sunday night,
Yes.
Thursday night football,
Mhm.
all the primetime games, and a bunch of the earlier in the day ones. We're all over the place with your NFL.
What about Christmas night?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
we got
Christmas
all of it.
Day.
We
yeah.
got all the primetime
Thanksgiving
games.
Day. Yeah. Black Friday.
But
That's us. Yeah.
I have decisions that I need to make, and that has to do with the 5 double headers on Monday Night Football.
Oh, boy.
Why? What the hell are you people doing at the NFL that you think we need 5 Monday Night Football double headers? Now, I love a double header in the proper sense where you're like, here's a game. Now here's a game. Yeah, but the way they do it is
They
they'll
run
start one
congruently.
game and an
Yeah.
hour later they start the next game. So you can't air both games on one radio station. Could we shovel one of these games over to Money Radio? Yeah, we probably could do that. Maybe, maybe
stats.
not.
Yeah.
Depends on the timing of it, because some of the shows over there be like, don't you dare. So I got to decide for 15A The Fanatic what the best games are.
All right.
I'm not completely clear in what games, I'm sorry, not just what games, but really what teams are going to be excellent and what teams are going to be complete garbage. And that's why they flex, because nobody can know that for sure until the season starts. So they have the ability to flex certain games. They're like, okay, if you suck, we're going to take you out of Monday Night Football, whatever.
Right.
But as it is now, these are the games for Monday Night Football.
All
They're
right.
five
Hit me.
5 double headers. So the first
ready.
one is on
Yeah.
September 15th. Yeah, we have a choice. Now, actually, that one, they're 3 hours apart. So we could just join the second one in progress. But even then, if one of these matchups is better than the other, maybe we just go with the one. But here's what it says. It says at 4 p.m. on September 15th, you got the Bucks at the Texans.
I think that's a great game.
Really? I feel like the Buccaneers will
Oh,
destroy the Texans.
I
kinda
think
feel
that's
that
a
way too,
great
Jeffrey.
game. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then the next game at 7 p.m. is Chargers at Raiders. I feel like that's the better game.
I
You
think
got Pete Carroll coming out, showing up with his new team.
and
that
the Harbaugh rivalry renewed.
You've got Harbaugh, you've got Pete Carroll facing each other in the coaching matchups.
Also, that has to be on the table for the shortest NFL game of the season.
Mm.
Both teams wanting to run the
Boy,
ball
I don't
down
know.
your throat with Ashton Genty now down there.
I
Chargers,
feel like
Jim
it's just
Harbaugh.
going to run and run.
Yeah, that's gonna. I mean, know that it's like an hour long, or how long is it? It's an hour long game time. It might actually be only an hour long.
I'll be honest with you, Jeffrey.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be afraid to start one and then join the second one in already in action.
If I had to pick one, I'd go with the
That's-
Chargers. Of
that's-
Vegas.
Yeah, if I got to
That's-
pick one, it's Chargers Raiders.
I
It's the
don't
second
know
game.
about that. Tampa Bay with what's his name? The quarterback Baker, the touchdown maker.
Mayfield.
Part of
and-
me
and-
thinks you just want to make sure we get off at 4 p.m.
No.
And I respect
no.
that, but just
I
be
didn't-
honest about it.
I didn't realize that at the time, but
Because
maybe
yeah, the
there was a
3
pinch in there.
hours is not
but-
enough time for a game.
Maybe there was a pinch in there. Maybe.
Is it? No, 3 hours.
Maybe.
No.
Well, actually,
Mm.
to be close, I just
3 hours will be enough to determine whether or not it's worth keeping.
All right, you caught me. Okay, you caught me.
3 hours
Okay.
will be able to determine. Oh, you know what? This is a 21-0 game. No need to continue. Let's go to Chargers Vegas.
All right, I'll admit it. Okay, I was trying
Randy,
to get off early.
you don't have to bare your soul. We already knew.
Huh.
So the next game or double header is September 29th, the first game at 4:15, and the next game is at 5:15. So we do have to choose one.
4:15 is what?
Jets at Dolphins.
Nah,
Ugh.
boo,
Ugh.
boo,
That's
horrible.
gonna be ugly. But see, here's
That's
the
a-
thing, though. Jeffrey
boo.
O'Brien's rule of NFL relativity is if both teams kind of suck,
It's going to be a good
could
game.
be a pretty good
Yeah,
game.
Yeah, it could be.
They're on equal footing.
That game will be over early, and
Dolphins will win.
Dolphins win 56-0.
I think
Go
Jets
ahead.
would
Next
actually win
game.
that game. But what do
But
I
the
know?
next game, well, one team is really great, the other one's horrible. Now Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to
Yeah.
bring it,
Yeah.
but they're playing the Broncos. So
I was looking ahead, and so I knew where this was.
I love the
I-
look on Phil's face.
This is outrageous. Outrageous disrespect. We at least have talent on both sides of the ball.
Phil,
Cincinnati,
take it
I almost
easy.
feel like taking the first game.
Phil, I'm just messing with it.
Cincinnati's coming already at a 14-point deficit because their defense gives you 14 to start out with. How dare you?
It's going to be a good game. I think that's the better game than Jets and Dolphins.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. New York, Miami, that also is a run fest, but it's more so skill, and it's going to be 3 and outs nonstop.
It's going to be a home game for the Broncos, so you might give them the edge. But I'll be honest, I don't know what we have with the Bengals yet until I see them play, so I can't say for sure.
Bengals are an entertaining team.
Yeah, Joe
Even
Burrow,
when
you
they're
can
bad.
never, ever, ever count him out. Man, he was at MVP level. He should have been the MVP last year.
I agree.
It's just he was winning, but his team wasn't.
Exactly.
In
Yeah.
my opinion, he was the MVP last year. It's just that his team wasn't winning.
Thank you, Randy.
That was
Thank you.
very eloquent.
Thank you.
So
Sophisticated.
I think we all
Thank you.
agree the better game there, Bengals at Broncos. All
Yes,
right.
agreed.
Moving on to October 13th. The first game at 4:15 is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
Might be a blowout for the Bills. Bills
might
are-
be a blowout, might be a good game. But then the other game, kind of in the same boat. You got the Bears and Commandos.
Oh, that's
at
good.
5:15.
You don't remember how
Well-
that ended last time, Jeffrey?
Yeah, but the Commandos are going to be way better, and the Bears, I don't think they're going to be better.
What is
But
this?
I
week?
think that the most
Week
listened to game would be the
6?
Bears Commandos
6, yeah.
game. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Bears Commandos would be probably more popular. I would put that on the air.
The Buffalo Bills very rarely do like a close win. It's usually like a close loss. And I don't see the Atlanta Falcons winning against them in a close close game. I think that it's much more likely that the Buffalo Bills just steamroll them.
I think Randy has a point.
Yeah.
About people will want to listen to that more.
Really?
As well.
Chicago, the Bears?
Bears at Commandos.
Jaden Daniels? ASU legend?
No, I'm agreeing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're
Yeah.
all agreeing, Phil.
Okay. I'm
Take
still
it easy, Phil.
I'm still flustered.
Yeah, about the whole Broncos thing. I
Yes,
know.
how dare you?
Just let it go.
How dare you vote?
All right, how about the next week, another double, October 20th, 4 p.m., Bucks at Lions.
Ooh, I like
Has
that.
potential.
I do like that.
But then the game after, Texans at Seahawks. So I feel like we finish the Bucks Lions game and then we just switch over to Texans and Seahawks. There's no reason to cut away for Texans and Seahawks.
I agree. Yeah, the Texans Seahawks, that kind of feels like it'll be a close game, but nobody's.
Why you guys are
truly-
hating on the Texans?
Not hating on them. It's just I properly identifying their level.
Yeah, they're a playoff worthy team, but that's about it. You know, CJ Stroud is just so meh.
They're a playoff possible
Yes.
team. I don't think they're worthy.
Yes. Excellent wording. Yes.
And then the fifth doubleheader, I'm kind of confused by. They call it a Monday Night Football doubleheader, but it's on a Saturday and it's not at night. It's January 3rd. They say the doubleheader is 1:30 p.m. and 5 p.m., but they don't know who's playing yet.
Well, that's right in the midst of bowl season.
My point is, how is that Monday Night Football? You can't call it Monday Night Football if it's on Saturday. But that's what they gave me. This is what I have.
That's interesting. Yeah, because and then plus all the games, since that is the last week of the NFL schedule. That is that's going to be any and every game will be up for flex, kind of like how we had the most pivotal game of all, the most important game of all time last year with the Vikings Lions. Heading into last season, we would have been like, that game is a bunch of nothing burger. And then by the end, they were like, yeah, that's our Sunday Night Football, lead up everything to it.
So I got proof right here that there's only one thing I changed my mind about, and that was the Bears at Commandos.
Bears Commandos.
Well, at first
yeah.
you see Bills and Falcons, you think, well, that's got to be a pretty good game. There's like, actually, now you think
Yeah,
about
because I don't know how I feel about Michael Penix yet.
Bears Commandos. That's it's a rivalry within the conference. I think the Bears are going to be a bit better this year. Everybody's going to be wanting to hear Commando games. I go Bears Commandos all day.
Two up and coming quarterbacks.
Yeah.
November 3rd, it's the Cardinals playing the Cowboys. December
you
22nd, it's
gotta
the
take that one.
49ers playing
Yeah.
the Colts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that I guess that hopefully by December 22nd, the Colts are playing better. And the 49ers, I don't know. I'm always pulling for Brock Purdy, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. It'll be interesting if he comes out and just balls out and all of a sudden 49ers are where they were.
I think that they're going to get a deal done this offseason, and everybody's just going to say, I don't know if I would have paid him that much. I think everybody's
Probably.
like nice
Yeah.
enough guy,
Yeah.
but honestly,
Probably.
yeah, I was going to say, Randy, if as a Cardinals fan, you have to be like, yeah, please sign Brock Purdy. Please,
It's
please.
going to depend on the wins and loss column, how people feel about anything, but you have to pay them. They have to pay them. They have no choice. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back, and we're not going to talk football the entire time, although I wouldn't be mad about it because there's been a couple days we didn't get a chance to talk football, but we are going to talk NBA. We are going to talk about the PGA Championship. We are going to talk about the hockey. We got everything for you. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 107th PGA Championship, sponsored by Wrangler. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles to kickstart your day. Wrangler for the ride of life. Bryson DeChambeau couldn't get up and down at 18. A bogey caps his even par 71. DeChambeau just got chills one hole before. He was 3 inches from an ace at the par 3 17th. Bryson is 5 off the lead. Ryan Gerard and Cam Davis shoot 5 under 66. This is a leaderboard full of less accomplished players. Right now, only 2 major champions are in the top 10. Former U.S. Open winner Matt Fitzpatrick, 3 under, 2 back. Keegan Bradley, the 2011 PGA champion, also 3 under. World number 1, Scotty Scheffler, salvaging his round with 2 late birdies. It's a 2 under 69 for Scheffler. He's 3 off the pace. Rory McIlroy, 3 over. Jordan Spieth, looking for the career Grand Slam, 5 over. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel all right.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer. Wounded Warrior Project supports injured veterans by connecting them with fellow warriors, by serving them through mental health and wellness programs, and by empowering them to live on their own terms. No one should face a battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
The Rich Eisen Show.
At the end of the day, the Luka for Anthony Davis trade winds up with a grand total of 1 combined NBA playoff win for the 2 teams involved in the season in which the trade was made. And the amount of time we spent here and other shows spent here and the amount of print, the amount of digital stories, all of it that we've spent about it. Grand total, 1 playoff win in the year in which it happened.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580 The Fanatic.
All righty. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get caught up on the text line here. Pull the Plug says, go to Sam's or Costco's. Look for rotisserie chicken area. See mini birds swirling in the oven. And try not to think of the roasted Seattle chickens.
Sea chickens. Yeah.
Of course I would think of that.
That was a great text right there. Thank you.
Of course I would. The Jet says, sounds like you guys won't be working very many hours this fall. We work as little hours as we possibly can.
Yeah, we
at
we-
all
we-
times.
Yeah. Mhm.
Don't underestimate how many contracts I'm willing to sign that'll keep us off the air.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Man, you're lucky we're not listening to some lacrosse right now.
Could be. Yeah.
There's many things. I shouldn't have said that because then lacrosse guys can be like, you could have. He's going to lose his mind on me. Swazman says, Jeffrey, not everyone goes 17-0, you know. Let's get realistic. It's really hard to tell at this time of year who's going to be the last team standing next February. When did I ever indicate that I thought any team could go 17-0? I never have. I've never expected that.
maybe
It's just trying to
perhaps.
figure out who the better matchups may or may not be. It's not a perfect science.
No.
Nobody ever gets it all right, but you do your best to try to get the most entertaining broadcast up you can.
Absolutely. See, the whole thing is to try to think about what is the most exciting and entertaining game for you, the Fourth Dimension. You'll be listening to these games here on the Fanatic, and we want to put the best product on the radio.
Connect Four.
What?
You want to know what the most exciting game would be? I think Connect Four.
No, football.
There's
I
certainly
enjoy
mental
football.
gymnastics
NF
involved. Yeah.
I
NFL
enjoy
football.
Connect Four.
Well, that's not. Phil, okay, it's we're not talking about what is that? Red dot, blue dot. What is that game? Twister.
Connect Four.
Connect Four is not a Twister.
No, it's not, but it can
Oh,
be in the
Twister.
right.
No,
I'm
no.
too. I don't know. I don't know if my. I don't know if my
No.
joints are Twister approved anymore.
Yeah, we
I'm
can't
still
do
Twister
Twister
ready.
anymore.
I'm
You
still-
are.
I gotta
I'm
have
still
a foot
naked Twister
surgery.
ready.
You,
Anytime.
you've been taking that muscle joint stuff. Glucosamine. You've been taking that, have you, Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been rubbing some coconut oil, just
What?
getting ready to slide into the new year, new Twister.
It's May, Phil.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Well, let's just not invite Phil. Let's not
Okay.
invite Phil.
All right,
to that.
all right. Very well.
Okay, yeah. King Kittens is like, what? We always want the early game. Okay, with the first game on and the second game joining in progress. What do you want to work till 7 or you want to get off early? Thank you, King of Kittens.
Thank you.
He understands us.
That is a company man right there. God
You
bless.
get us, King of Kittens.
Bruno Baller says it must be the Monday night crew doing those Saturday games. I hate when they do that. Don't come at me and tell me you can't change a graphic to say Saturday football, and just have your Monday crew. We all know who you are.
Saturday mid-morning football. That's supposed to be Monday night.
Moist One says, if you want to see Bears go commando, I'm having a housewarming party this
What?
weekend, and you're
No.
all invited.
No, again, no. Moist One.
He also says, Money Radio told me to invest in Fartcoin, and I am now the proud owner of a 2006 Chrysler Town and Country. Delicious says, Niners, 12 wins. Cards, 8 wins. Colts, 5 wins. Broncos, 9 wins. Delicious, you're high. 12 wins.
Let's see. Niners.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Some people are just have a huge blind spot for their own team.
Yeah, I guess the Niners is really going to depend on how you feel about like the Panthers, how you feel about the Seahawks. I mean, it's
Well, how do you feel about the offense in general for the 49ers?
Yeah, they lost a lot of they lost Deebo Samuel. I mean, they have Jawan Jennings, but it feels like perpetually the Niners are completely snake bitten where they you want to talk about an injury prone team that they lose about half of their starters.
Oh boy.
Due to
Yeah.
injury each and
It's
every
been
year.
that way, hasn't it? Yeah.
Maybe
What
not.
is with the 49ers? Is it something to do with the altitude? I don't know.
Yeah, one would think like maybe a turf issue, but they have an all natural turf. That's not what really goes on.
Au
with them.
natural.
Yeah, all natural. Yeah, nobody trims that turf, and it's fine. It's fine on. It's kind of like the Chargers. If you remember, like
Hey,
the
listen,
era.
I don't want to tell her how to do it, but I appreciate some trim turf.
But I do. It is weird. Every once in a while, it feels like every generation there's a team that just continuously underachieves because of its injuries. You look at like the Phillip Rivers era of the Chargers, where they felt like they were just perpetually the most talented team on paper before the season, and then as soon as the season started, they lost half of their team due to injuries. It's incredible how the 49ers have enough talent to even make these games competitive time and time again.
Yeah,
But
but I'll tell you what, 10 wins.
that feels fair.
While Phil was talking, I just scrolled down and took a look at their schedule. Now their schedule is the easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
Who, the 49ers?
Wait, I thought
Yeah.
somebody else you said was 32.
It says here the 49ers have the easiest schedule in the league.
Huh.
Wow.
Listen, it's ESPN, so
I mean, they do
math.
play the Cardinals.
But I'm going to say 10 wins, not 12 wins. I mean, a lot of that's because you're playing the Panthers, and I don't believe in the Panthers. You're playing the Saints. I don't believe in the Saints. The Rams, you'll split. The Cardinals, you'll split.
No.
The Texans, you will beat. The Falcons, you should beat. The Giants, you will beat. The Browns, you will beat. The Titans, you will beat. So this is where their 10 wins are coming from that I see. I see 10.
I can go to up to 11, and I think I'm going to rest with you at 10.
Just be your own man, Phil.
I think 9.
It ain't going to be 12, T-licious. It ain't going to be 12. Ringless Joe, you've lost all credibility. Lions, 17 wins. Bears, none. Okay. Fish Tank says it was the Giants that we thought had the easiest schedule. Yeah, well, it's ESPN's numbers. What do you want? Hamilton Porter says biggest crapshoot is who wins the NFC North this year.
The NFC North, that is a crazy division. I mean, even heading into the year last year, again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but the Minnesota Vikings were the biggest surprise.
I'm going to give it to the Lions again.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be the Lions and the Vikings. Maybe
But it's going to be the Lions.
I feel like the Vikings are going to be the team that drops out of the playoffs this year, and the Bears slide into there, and then maybe even the Packers fall out. I mean, but the Packers.
The difference is, Phil, the Lions need to practice and scheme, and they need to work on some stuff. They didn't have a personnel issue except for like all the injuries they had on the defense. Now, if these guys are off their crutches and they can stay a little healthier this year, that team is going to tear through the NFC North. Minnesota Vikings are not.
Well, how much do you put into offensive skill and defensive skill positions? Because when the coordinators for both sides of the ball,
well, they have both. Phil.
They have all of those, but they don't have their reigning coordinators, both of whom were eligible, one of which won coordinator of the year last year, and they both have departed. Now, I realize Campbell there is certainly a culture guy, right? Like everybody knows that, he drinks blood and bites on kneecaps and
he's blown some calls.
He's blown some calls, absolutely. But I don't necessarily put the X's and O's on him. So you're only as good as your guys that you're dependent on. And he lost both of them, both of whom were doing tremendous jobs throughout the entirety of the year. And
I forgot about that part.
Yes, I know. So I'm thinking that the Detroit Lions are a prime pullback candidate, not only because of the injuries that they suffered that they're going to have to reintegrate, but also because they lost a lot of their team management.
Now that you've said that, now I'm leaning towards the Vikings taking the NFC North. The fact you lost both of your coordinators.
The Vikings don't have the quarterback that they had. They have
Sam
JJ
Darnold.
McCarthy.
Okay, I'm back on the Lions again.
The Lions haven't made any drastic changes, and
wait, I'm back on the Vikings now.
The Lions are getting all their defensive guys that were injured. Aiden Hutchins, they're getting him back. They're getting back that the defensive back that was so good for them.
That's it. I'm on the Packers.
So I feel like if anybody is a favorite to win in the North this year, it's going to be the Lions because they haven't changed a bunch. They've just gotten healthier over the offseason.
They've lost their coordinators, though.
Well,
Randy.
they lost their coordinators, but I feel like there's enough talent on that team, and there are enough great coordinators out there, and I think their head coach is going to go get some guys that are going to be hungry and want to come in. They're going to be young coordinators, and they're I am too, and I've been eating a lot. I've been on prednisone. I've been eating everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to peel the paste off the wall to eat it. That's how hungry I am. Prednisone is a hell of a drug. I was telling Miss Kim today.
Yeah.
I heard everything all night. I could see everything, even with my eyes closed. My hairs were like antennas.
You could feel them grow.
Oh my God! Prednisone is a hell of a drug.
Oh, I can't do it. It gives me a tummy ache.
Oh my God.
Phil, what are you on?
What was I saying?
I'm on I'm on the Chicago Bears to win that division. Heaven forbid.
Is that prescription?
It certainly is as prescribed. Yeah. Nobody takes it willingly, but
no way the Bears win that division.
No,
I think it's
not this year.
Again,
Not this season.
I put a lot of credit into Ben Johnson. I think that it's going to rest.
Not this season.
Depending on how much credit you give to Ben Johnson on how much of an actual effect he had on that offense and where it actually rests, I put a lot on Ben Johnson. I think that having that rising tide to go to the Chicago Bears and actually bring some clarity, bring some stability into the organization, especially for the offensive side of the ball that they desperately needed. I think that and taking that away from the Detroit Lions evens out the odds and brings the Chicago Bears into the fold, especially with how they address their offensive line.
Dirty Bird says all this Falcons disrespect is uncalled for.
Really?
I don't feel like we've disrespected them. You just don't have a very good team.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about the NFC North. I mean, I think one of the most intriguing conference is the NFC East.
Do you? I mean,
what are the Commandos going to be like this year? Was it a one-off, or are they going to return with some vim and vigor like we've never seen before? Are the Cowboys better? The Commandos, Washington Commandos. Are the Cowboys going to be better? They didn't do hardly anything. Yeah, okay. They signed their linebacker. They've got Dak Prescott coming back, we think, from an injury. They got a new wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But what are the Eagles going to do? How about the Eagles in the NFC East? I think there's three teams we need to look at in the NFC East to make that very interesting.
Really hard to repeat, but as far as the Falcons go, I'm going to give the Falcons 8 wins if you're lucky.
See, I keep getting burned by the Atlanta Falcons where I buy into the talent year after year after year.
7 wins if you're lucky.
They keep underwhelming. But for the NFC East, to your point, Randy, I think what makes it fascinating, and I know that it's like 1 year going to the next doesn't have a bunch of layover, and especially going into the stats, you'll be watching an ESPN Monday night header, and it's like, no team has ever thrown for 76 yards with a quarterback named Starr in 72 years, except in the year, all this stuff. But what I do think is somewhat relevant is that the NFC East specifically has not had a repeat champion since the 2004 season. And every year we want to pencil in as the repeat the Cowboys a couple of years ago with that offensive line. They're looking stout. They're going to, the Eagles this year have won the Super Bowl. It's hard to imagine another team taking the division crown away from them, but it's a streak for a reason.
Dirty Bird says, oh, great. My wife heard you. Now she's laughing at me too. Joke's on her. She's a Cowboys fan. Joke's on both of you. I give both your teams 7 wins.
Wow.
So I guess what I've done is I've given them a common enemy. Dirty Bird gonna get a little tonight.
You saved that.
Dirty Bird gonna get a little tonight.
You saved that.
Yeah. All right. There's a bunch of texts on the text line. People taking issue with everything we're saying. So
of course.
Let's take a break. Come back and we got to wrap all this football talk up, at least for now, because we still have basketball and hockey and other stuff to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
If you need to hire, it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Fish Tank says, I miss Keon back when you had a sensible third co-host. What are you upset about? What are you? I mean, he was saying nice things about your Dolphins, I thought.
He's just upset because Keon just had to be forced to lay over and play dead because the Commanders until last year were just you guaranteed like, oh, are they going to get the number 1 overall pick or the second? Like, so he had nothing to be biased about.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, whatever the case, we got to clean up this text line and finish up this conversation. So let's see. Fish Tank says a healthy Lions team is arguably the best team in the league. But we just don't know how well the direction is going to go. Hamilton Porter says biggest. I read that. Hi, Hamilton Porter. Did I read that? Biggest crapshoot of the year. Who wins the NFC North? Yeah, we just did. King and Kenton says hi, Filthy.
Hey, how we doing?
He says I got some new text or nicknames, Randy.
Okay.
Naked Twister. Right. Gong Show Karaoke.
I love it.
Was that Thong Show or a
Dong? Like Ding Dong, the witch is dead.
Dong.
Okay. Gong. And
all right.
Phil the Buster. Like filibuster, but Phil the Buster.
I like that.
That's not too bad. He'll put whatever he likes on the list. Donnie predictably says the Vikings will smash Dan Campbell's yellow teeth and take the North this year. That I would bet. Here's my prediction. You're going to see a nicer grill on Dan Campbell this year because I'm sure he noticed that somebody was posting up his jacked up teeth all over the internets there. He drinks a lot of coffee, but who's surprised by how much coffee he drinks?
Maybe he'll go the way.
He drinks coffee and he chews the Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And the kneecaps.
Yes, well, kneecaps, but
those are rich in calcium.
Copenhagen.
Maybe he'll go the way of the Matthew Stafford veneers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people get them and they're just like these big white chiclets, and you're like, whoa, too much. Take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Take it easy. Eye Candy says, Jeffrey, look at the Bears' schedule. I will pencil in 9 wins. Detroit, 9 wins. Vikings, 9 wins.
Wow.
Green Bay, 4 wins because I hate the Packers.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, Eye Candy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the NFC North is very, very much up for grabs, and it's going to probably come down to tiebreakers.
Moist One says, Randy, I need you on my Major League Baseball, the show co-op team.
What?
While you were on that drug. I don't know
what.
I don't understand him.
Have another one on me.
A lot of
words.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Bruno Baller says the Celtics. Okay, hold on, Bruno Baller. We're going to talk about that, but I'm going to put a pin in your text. Swave Dave says a lot of Lions it can stay healthy. Knock on wood. I predict they'll not only win the NFC North, they'll play for the NFC Championship. Just like I picked the Knicks to win in 4. I meant to say Nixon and Ford to win.
Nixon and Ford to win.
Well, predicting the Lions to make it to the NFC Championship, that's something that, last year a lot of people did, and everything caught up to them. I don't know how far this team can go under its current lack of management. I mean, they promoted from within, I usually find that to be, not going for the best talent that is available, especially when we're talking about coordinators, but I could be wrong.
Hefty Lefty says, happy birthday to Rod Smith, the best undrafted wide receiver in league history.
Happy birthday.
Slow Mo Zo says, Phil, can you throw in y'all or fun fact every once in a while?
No, you can't do that.
That's
Sorry.
banned.
Yeah,
We've banned that.
That's
By the way, when you taught Harris, you didn't beat some of that stuff out of him there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was focused on beating in stuff, not beating out. You hear?
You beat him in good stuff.
Ooh,
like that.
It's a shame you couldn't beat off the stuff we don't like.
I tried my darndest.
Ringless Joe says, Donnie, the Vikings are losers, and they lost last year the same way they'll lose this year. Now we have texture on texture crime.
Yeah, we sure do.
Fish Tank says, I can't wait to watch the Vikings regress this year. Man, so here comes the Fish Tank to throw in on Donnie as well.
Yeah, one would think, with a new quarterback coming off of an injury, one would think that they are set for a prime regression, but Kevin O'Connell is incredible. Their head coach.
Is he, though?
He's all right.
Is he really?
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He made Sam Darnold a thing. We'll see.
I'm not arguing with you. But, he's not like the second coming.
He made Sam Darnold a thing, and then he let him go.
Because he was the one who made him a thing. If he can make him a thing, can he make J.J. McCarthy a thing? Can he make him J.J. Squared?
You don't even know what you have with him.
Yeah,
yet.
I know.
You know what you had with Sam Darnold, and you let him get out of there, and you got J.J. McCarthy as your quote unquote starting quarterback. Are you that egotistical that you think you can just make whatever quarterback that suits up for your team the best quarterback for the situation?
He's a head coach. Of course, he's that egotistical.
Oh my God. I feel bad for Donnie. I hope it works out for him, but I
don't feel at all bad for Donnie.
I
feel bad for chosen one in Chief Skull.
I don't see how this is going to work.
Kyle G says the two best divisions in football are the NFC North and East, and they play each other this season. I think this will open up the door for some other teams to sneak in due to some good teams stumbling. NFC North and East.
I don't think those are the best. They're up there.
Humbly.
Could be half-ish, right? Because the Eagles will be good, the Commandos will be good, Lions should be good, Vikings should be good, Packers, I think they could be pretty good, but does that make them the best divisions? You look over, okay, forget the NFC West.
Humbly.
Sorry, Randy.
The AFC West.
Forget the NFC South. The AFC West with the Broncos and the Chiefs in it. We don't know about the Raiders.
The Chiefs are better. I feel like the Raiders are going to be better.
Moving on.
Chargers are going to be better. I think the AFC West.
North's got the Ravens and Bengals. That's where that stops.
Yeah.
AFC East has the Bills. Maybe the Dolphins.
No, just let it go. Yeah, no, I think the NFC North by far is the most contentious one. Where I think even whoever is the quote unquote worst of the bunch within that division still would probably be a playoff team in many other divisions, if not every other one.
I don't know. Kyle G may have a point. Don't count out the other divisions, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Ringless Joe says the Lions gave the Vikings one of those traditional Vikings funeral where they put them on a boat, lit them on fire, and then pushed them out to sea.
I
think I saw that.
And shot an arrow.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's too bad. Really.
Yeah, that was like on PBS. I think I saw that.
Yeah.
So here is what the NFL is thinking. Of course, keep in mind that the Cowboys are the Lakers. The Cowboys are the Lakers. They may stink, but still going to get way more press and way more prime time than they should because Cowboys have 8 standalone games, including 6 primetime games. The only team that has more is the Chiefs with their 8 standalone games plus 7 primetime games, and 5 of their primetime games come in the first 8 weeks of the season. And then guess what? They'll get flexed in probably even more if they're good.
Can you believe that, though? I mean, when you think about it, can you believe that, really? Yeah. The Cowboys, what have they done that they deserve that kind of coverage?
They are the Lakers of
I know you
NFL.
said that. I know you said that, but the Lakers at least go to playoffs and win.
I'm
playoff
talking about
games.
in the attention they get on a national scale.
God.
Because
I don't know why the Dallas Cowboys get that kind of coverage. There are a multitude of teams that deserve to be in that slot rather than the Cowgirls.
There's just tons of Cowboy fans all over the place.
I think at this point, the Cowboys used to be somebody that you looked to in order to kind of get a reading on the NFL. You kind of looked to see like, okay, your entire league is as good as your best product, which is the Cowboys. And as of late, what they've really just dematerialized into is just a dumpster fire, like an accident that we all pass by in the highway, that as soon as you pass by, you're like, oh, it's really clear and easy going here. This is what everybody's watching to stop and look at, because really there is nothing, absolutely nothing you can look to that they did this offseason.
Well, I mean,
it's not it's not about anything from the season for the Cowboys.
What is
it's about the fact that the ESPN thinks that everybody wants to hear about the Lakers and LeBron and everything that goes on with the Lakers, no matter who's on the team. Like one team can win, but the Lakers get the press. The Timberwolves beat the Lakers, but it's all about the Lakers. And it's the same thing with the Cowboys. If for some reason, and maybe it's just because they have more fans than anyone else, that they act like, oh, the Cowboys are going to be blah, 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 blah. So there's way too many primetime games for the Cowboys. It doesn't fit their talent level.
I mean, let's all be honest. There's nothing that they did this entire offseason to merit to even think that they would be a better team than they were last year. And last year was mostly healthy with Dak Prescott, and they still underachieved. So
it will never matter. It will never matter.
Phil, do you know what the Cowgirls' strength of schedule is this year? Because, dear God, if it's a weak schedule, we're going to hear nothing about how good the Cowboys are when it's just a lie about what they really are.
You're going to have plenty of opportunity to see it, because now the Cowboys are the first team in history with 4 Thursday night games in a single season.
Wow.
The Cowboys have the 22nd ranked schedule, which means that
they are an easy schedule.
No, pretty hard.
Okay.
Okay.
The other direction.
Other direction.
The Commandos, they have something tough. Now, they had better be as good as we think they're going to be, because they're going to face 4 opponents that are coming off bye weeks this season. So there's going to be 4 guys they get well rested, and that don't seem fair.
Who is this?
Commandos.
Yeah.
4 opponents will be coming off bye weeks. And let me tell you who they are. It'll be the Bears in week 6. It'll be the Seahawks in week 9. It'll be your Broncos in week 13. And it'll be the Giants in week 15. So 3 out of those 4 might matter to the Commandos. And the Giants with 9 years rest won't matter. But the Bears and the Seahawks and the Broncos, having that rest, it might make the difference on how the Commandos do.
And this is going to be an interesting year because, like I said earlier in the show, one thing that brings you hope and optimism if you're a Patriots fan is that year 2 bump, right? Like we saw Trevor Lawrence get a year 2 bump. We saw a bunch of other quarterbacks in year 2 really ascend into a better place and produce more. But as of recently, like rather recently, we've seen that other quarterbacks can take a major regression if they have a tremendous year 1, a la CJ Stroud, a la, I think even Baker Mayfield had a great year 1, and then year 2 stumbled until year 3 he brought him, I believe. But you have to think that the one of the top storylines of the entire NFL season last year was the stupendous play and stupendous poise that Jaden Daniels had the entirety of last season, which I'd have to believe that the entirety of the defensive side of the ball, whether it be coordinators, defensive coaches, yada, yada, we're all studying Jaden Daniels and how he did. Even offensive coordinators trying to incorporate like new rookie incoming quarterbacks to say, how did they do this so well as far as the Washington Commanders? I feel like Jaden Daniels specifically was an offseason study case for the entirety of the NFL that I wonder whether or not he can withstand that barrage of new and incoming ways to attack him and how he specifically left in the prominence of the entire season. I think it's going to be a very challenging season.
The difference between a quarterback you ain't seen and one you've had a chance to study. That's up to whoever is behind Jaden Daniels as far as coaching goes, and I guess who's evaluating. Right. Yeah. Cool Jr. says Eagles versus Commandos. We're in the NFC Championship, both in the NFC East. Thank you, Cool Jr.
Yeah, and he's saying adds to the how hard that division is.
Well, we don't know what it is this year. Chosen One says, Randy, sit down. KOC has made multiple retread quarterbacks look amazing. Darnold, the astronaut, Case Keenum. We don't need a quarterback to win games. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson for receiving options, and Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason in the backfield. They'll make plays. He just needs to not turn the ball over. All with top 5 offensive line and best defensive coordinator in the league, says the chosen one.
Well, a chosen one, I'll stand up whenever the hell I want to because I'm a man and don't tell me what to do. Second of all, I was just making an observation. We haven't seen J.J. McCarthy. We know what you were getting out of Sam Darnold. Let's see what happens with J.J. McCarthy before we get too boisterous about our results with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, and you can kiss all my ass, chosen one, for talking to my friend Randy that way. Hank Froman says, I'll tell you a team that deserves more primetime games. The Bears. Cowboys get 7 primetime games? What a joke.
Yeah.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Says Phil, we get it. The Broncos are the only ones who had a great offseason. We get it.
No, I think the Seahawks had a tremendous one.
Hour 2 is over. Hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 107th PGA Championship. The wait is over and the countdown to kickoff has begun. Single game tickets for the 2025 NFL season are on sale now. Dying light in the first round at Quail Hollow and a new leader. Jonathan Vegas catapulting past Ryan Gerard and Cam Davis at 6 under with a birdie at 8. Vegas started on 10, so he's closing on the front 9. How about 4 birdies in his last 5 holes as he plays the 9th now, his final hole of the day. It's the first career lead for Vegas at a major. This is his 45th career round at a major championship. There really is a randomness to this leaderboard so far. Big names faltering like Justin Thomas at 2 over, Rory McIlroy at 3 over, Brooks Koepka 4 over, Jordan Spieth at +5. Scotty Scheffler in the red, 2 under 69. He's 4 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
The wait is over and the countdown to kickoff has begun. Single game tickets for the 2025 NFL season are on sale now.
How beautiful is that?
That's every epic showdown, every classic rivalry, every primetime game. 17 games for all 32 teams. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase tickets today. Tickets are available through the NFL Ticket Network, including Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and Sports Illustrated tickets.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. in what looks to be his ShamWow. We got Filthy Phil, the fill-in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I'm going to clean up the text line. I want to do this quick because we have so much other things that we got to talk about. I don't want to get drugged down here. I mean, I love talking me some NFL, but man, we got the NBA playoffs. We got the NHL playoffs. We got stuff. So we got to get through this. So Kyle G says, Cowboys are the NFL's litmus test. Beat them and you're a good team. Lose to them and you're bad. No, I think that Phil said it was the Broncos.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably more accurate. But Kyle G says that's why they have so many games. More fan bases can judge how excited to be about their team. Yeah, but a lot of times the Cowboys just stink. So that's no litmus test, man.
Yeah, especially whenever they don't even have they're usually better on the road these days because of all the pressure and all the fans and them being so eagerly to turn on them. So I wouldn't go with the Cowboys. I'd go much more with the Broncos, who seem to be much more even keel, much more rounded as a team.
Firefarter says, Yins know how many primetime games the Steelers got? Yes, you got 4.
And one would think that it would have been more had Aaron Rodgers signed with the team earlier.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they wanted to take that chance. Even if we all believe that Aaron Rodgers will join the Steelers, I don't think that they wanted to take the chance that they would be giving any more than if he decided to retire.
By the way, don't text in any more NFL stuff because the cutoff is Slow-Mo Zo. After Slow-Mo Zo, if you're typing in any NFL stuff, I ain't going to read it. I'm sorry, but we got to move on. Commando Duke says, I expect a higher scoring, fun offense from my Commandos. I don't know what to expect from the defense, though. Rocky Top says, what happened to Harris? We fired him. No, not really. He's...
Not true.
Where he went to Tennessee for a family reunion?
Yeah, he
10-year reunion.
He went there.
Oh, his brother is graduating.
Yes.
His mother is graduating.
No, I think it was his brother.
His mother's brother is graduating.
Other brother, mother. Yeah, from Tennessee State.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Quiet Cannon says this might be the year where there's no more than maybe 11 wins, no dominant team, maybe. Oh, for any team. Well, that's interesting to say that the under for all teams would be 11.
You could definitely make a lot of money if that were to be true.
Nondescript says the Big Mac tastes like a bird's nest. Is there a better known burger in this country or world? Cowgirls are a long and carefully developed brand name. That's it.
Wow, that was a lot of words for nothing. I mean, first of all, I don't agree McDonald's has the best burger. My goodness.
No, he's talking about the fact that it's the best branded. More people know about the Big Mac than any other burger. I think that some of the words in his, Big Mac tastes like Dookie, but is there a better known one?
No,
Yeah, even though it's bad, there's no better known one.
I
So
think
he's
got a point
comparing
there.
that to the Cowboys, and I like it.
I like that too.
Slow Mozo says, the Pope's a big Bears fan. Maybe he can call on some divine intervention.
Well, I mean, I think we're all expecting that thunder
Well,
and
the
lightning to come down and Bears to win games like
I think
that.
everybody knows the Lord Almighty is a Colts fan.
No.
No.
That's why he bestowed Daniel Jones unto thee.
It's why the Colts play in a dome that can't have a retractable roof.
God can get through the roof, Randy.
No.
7526. It was a new texter on May 7th.
Well, hey.
He just wants to be called 7526.
Really?
Oh, no. He says he was heading into work and he would work on a nickname.
Ah.
I don't know. He never came back with one, but he does say, how overrated is Austin Matthews? Yikes.
Oh, boy, that has been terrible for the Toronto Maple Leafs, for their captain, a guy known for scoring, excuse me, a guy known for leading this team by going down there and getting assists, and to be 0 for 10 in the series, a guy that's not even been close. This is a bad day for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's a bad day for Scottsdale, Arizona, where Austin Matthews comes from. I'm sad to see it. He's a really great hockey player. I don't know what the deal is, but keep this in heart because for a lot of years, Randy Johnson, it was a complete shell of a man when it came to playoffs until one season, and it finally all clicked. So you just never know when it's going to happen when the player puts it all together.
Thank you, 7526. We probably need to learn something about 7526. Because last time when he was trying to decide about a nickname, he's like, I'll go off and think about one.
Okay.
But he didn't come back with one. So tell us about yourself. We can help you.
We have some new ones that were given to the Naked Twister or what was the Gong Show one? And then Phil the Buster.
You didn't write it down?
I was trying to, but there was so much activity. It was Gong Show something. Cold and gassy. Could that be? Could that be?
Oh no, Gong Show karaoke.
Gong Show karaoke. There it is.
Yeah. So Bruno Baller brings us into the NBA by saying the Celtics might be playing a little more relaxed, perhaps kind of like an underdog. The Knicks better win the next game or never know what could happen in 7. Well, that text was just sort of
it
a
started out
there,
very nicely and then just kind of just fell apart there in the end.
I hate that it's happened this way for the Celtics. I hate that they lost their guy, but now the rest of the guys on the team, Brown and White and old man, old man. What's his name? The center,
Kristaps Porzingis.
That's the
Al Horford.
Horford. I got 5 kids. Him. These guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have to step up.
Well, they did, didn't they?
And they're going to have to take the position now. And they forced a game 6, right? I mean,
127 to 102 last night, and Derek White was the real reason.
That's my guy. Derek White is an unsung hero for these Boston Celtics, in my opinion.
34 points.
He's a guy that shows up when you really need him. Yeah, he is a guy. He's quiet. He's there. He throws in. He's a bit player. But boy, when you need him, get the ball to him because he'll turn white hot, and no pun intended, and he'll start helping this team out. And I was glad to see him last night.
Yeah, certainly. He's a fantastic role player. I mean, part of the reason why when Kawhi Leonard couldn't make it onto the Olympic team, they turned to him. He's fantastic, fills a role, and it feels like a real steal of a guy whenever he's not a starter and he's your 6th man. Incredible.
I don't know. Bell Celtics didn't steal him.
No, but he feels like a steal of value.
Are you implying that the Celtics are thieves?
They did steal him away from the Spurs.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
These are some serious allegations, Phil. You really make sure you have your facts straight before you start saying stuff like that.
All right. Well, but you're right. To lose a superstar in that fashion in the playoffs is absolutely devastating. You hate to see injuries in sports, especially when it's this, and it feels like it robs you of 2 seasons, like this postseason and all of next season, more than likely. That's what really feels like a punch to the gut. That being said, the New York Knicks, that kind of felt like the game that they were going to lose, right? Like that felt like, I mean, yes, in the first half, it was knotted up going into halftime, but coming out of it, that even heading into the game itself, you kind of felt like at the Boston Celtics, you couldn't lose there. It felt like it was destined to go 6 at Madison Square Garden. Now the Knicks feel like this is where they're going to pour it on.
The Knicks, you can't guess the Knicks right now.
No.
If they'd have won that, wouldn't have been surprised.
No.
But I was more surprised that the Celtics blew out the Knicks by 25 points after losing Tatum. I mean, that was this is one of the more stunning things I've seen. But does that give you enough confidence in the Celtics that they could go and win the next 2 games? I don't know.
Next 2 games.
Not feeling it.
No. I mean, you take it one game at a time as you do with any series, but I don't think so. What it does guarantee, though, the Jason Tatum injury is that they are cooked. Like they will not defeat the Indiana Pacers as currently constituted and constructed. But
you said the Celtics or the Knicks?
Celtics. Now the Knicks, that's its own thing. I mean, you have to imagine that the Knicks, even though they've been incredible on the road this season. It's this is like the first road game that they lost in the postseason. The Knicks, but now that they head back home, Madison Square Garden, then knowing that the home fans are going to have the first meaningful game played in Madison Square Garden in the postseason in 20 years. I mean, like this is like, I hear from all the reports that it's a near religious experience, and I can imagine so.
I feel if the Celtics win this game at MSG, the series is over. I feel like the series is over.
If they do.
If the Celtics win and they take it back to Boston, I feel like that kind of confidence booster for the Celtics will push them over the hump. Now, will they get past the Pacers?
No.
As long as they don't pull a Matt Struss.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that means, but
Well, he came out
You mean Max Strus?
Strus, yeah. He's all like, hey, it was the elimination game, right?
If
And
you're
they're
going to be playing on this
Yeah.
team,
like,
this is the
"Believe or
night.
don't show up.
You show up.
And then he missed every shot in the game.
Oh boy.
That he
Zero.
took. Literally
Zero.
every shot.
Just too much pressure on old Matt Strus.
If we
Keep your
die,
mouth
we
shut.
die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just keep your mouth shut. Show up and play. Don't say stuff like that because now, it's not great.
Damn, that hurts.
Chosen One says, proud of my Wolves for closing out the Warriors. Do you think Fender can come back against OKC? No, but Denver can. I think Denver can come back against OKC.
Yeah, I do think that Denver still has a shot. I mean, when you have the best player in the world, and it's not particularly close, as far as Porzingis, Jokic, whenever you have the best player in the world playing for your team, and he's not only he's an offensive engine. And he's so routine on how he gets, like, he's not dependent. Like Steph Curry can have hot, cold nights. Jokic just had bad nights, but he's still contributing in other ways, generating offense, not the entirety. You can see the Nuggets are exhausted. They're a veteran-laden team that is just like going through this grind. That being said, each and every night, every game, that they have to tear down and shut down Jokic, or otherwise the game's over. And it's incredible to watch. I think it's very much a possibility that this goes 7, and either team can win.
You look in Jokic's eyes, and he's mad at himself. He's not, he's got this. A lot of guys put the face on.
Yeah,
everything that you see in Jokic's face right now is absolutely legit.
Jeffrey, he's all but a player's coach out there right now.
Yeah.
Like he's he's holding the guys not only accountable, he's yelling at. He's like, "What? This is unacceptable." He's out there like drawing up plays with the coach being kind of like, what Nicholas said. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, did you see him the other night when they had the timeout? He was on the bench. He was talking to each and every guy on that team. It didn't matter if you were in the game right now or not. Jokic was giving you some inspiration to go out there and play some basketball.
We're going to need you. Defense affect something. Yeah.
Are the Nuggets going to be able to overcome this? I don't know.
I don't know.
Even with the world's greatest basketball player, arguably the greatest basketball player in the world, I don't know if they can overcome it because where is his help?
They have just as good a chance, Randy, as the Celtics.
I don't know, man.
I see that they have a better one.
I don't know. I think the Celtics have a better chance. I think the Celtics are a better team.
The Celtics are missing Tatum. But
but
they're
they've
still
got Brown, they've got White, they've got Porzingis, they've got Al
White.
Horford.
They had White yesterday. How effective will he be next time?
Telling
you can't guarantee that that's going to happen again.
This guy shows up at the right time.
Let's see here. Moist One says, cease and desist. I refer to Al Horford as the engine of the Celtics.
Well, you're the only one. Al Horford has just been absolutely getting demolished by Jalen Brunson whenever they're going into ISO situations. I mean, the offensive engine, my goodness.
Well, he also says the Celtics played very well, and Porzingis is dealing with a crazy illness. Why can't people just admit he has COVID?
I don't know. What is this? What is this mysterious pall that's hanging over Kristaps Porzingis? Like, we're probably going to have discussions here and about the Celtics in the offseason and what they do. Do they tear it all down? Do they trade and move around? And but in any of those conversations, usually Kristaps Porzingis was the one that was going to be moved around. And now with this weird illness that nobody's talking about, nobody can really diagnose, or we're not privy to. I don't know what it is. It's kind of taken all the value out of what would have been Kristaps Porzingis' value because it keeps affecting him so drastically, but it's undiagnosed. I don't know.
That's the thing. If I'm playing against him, I'm sort of like,
do I want to get in close with it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Base Slapper says, "Oh, it sounds like the Weekend Warriors." Oh, shut up, Base Slapper.
You're welcome.
Moist One says, "I didn't say offensive engine, Phil. Horford has been playing very well. How dare you?" Slow-Mo Zoe's got a nice idea for a texture nickname, by the way.
Oh, let's hear
Pickled
it.
Pickle.
Pickled Pickle?
I kind of like it. Pickled
Okay.
Pickle.
I will put it on the list.
So 7520 Sis says, "Is Honky Lips available?" No, we can't let you have Honky. That just doesn't sound right. He says, "Name the movie." It was my fantasy football team from a few years ago. Boy, I don't remember anyone using that.
It's before my time, unless it's
Listen,
not.
as a honky, National Lampoon's Vacation. That's what it was. It has come to me. But no, as a fellow honky, I don't think we can. That's probably just no. Let's just say no on that one. 2863 says, do I need a texture nickname too, or can I just sucker punch in with text here and there? I guess you could do that too, but it's always more fun when you got a texture nickname.
I thought, Jeffrey, you were of the dictatorial state that you would then assign.
I'm trying some psychology here.
I thought that you were so benevolent that, yes, you would allow that. So why would I say anything about that?
Yeah, you need a texture nickname. Okay.
Yeah.
You need a texture nickname. Moist One says Sucker Punch. That could be his name.
Huh.
Sucker Punch.
Moist
says
that is not bad.
What about?
In fact, I don't want to waste it on somebody who's not texting in regularly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Sucker Punch, that can definitely be like, Sucker Punch says,
yeah,
you stink. You look like you smell like pee.
Now, 2863, if you're just going to text occasionally, you should have a texture nickname, just not Sucker Punch. That's a good one. 7526 says, well done. Excuse me, Holmes. Clark W. Griswold.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't read that. Prison Wallet. I mean, I can, but then it is a name, I think. I don't know if I should say that out loud. It is a name. Dr. Leonard Lipschitz. But I don't think we could use the proper name. We're not going to use that name. We're not using the name Lipschitz.
So I'm not writing that one down.
No,
then?
don't.
All right, very, very well.
No, not Nathaniel Lipschitz, not Robert Lipschitz, not Eli Lipschitz, not any of these guys. We're going to pass on that one. Going to just pass on that one.
Very well.
Moist One says, that's the Rugrats doctor. Yeah, still. On this show? No. I'm thinking no. So, goodbye to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, first game that the Minnesota Timberwolves have actually looked like a championship contending team. Like
they had all the pieces except for one, and then that just I kind of thought that got in their heads. I mean, did they have to have Steph Curry? Did they have to have him?
Seems like it at this point.
I guess they did. So,
well, okay. So if you're talking about the Golden State Warriors, they were two different.
No, we're
teams.
talking about the Golden State Beavers.
I thought you were talking about I was talking about the Timberwolves, and then we moved over to the Warriors.
Don't be a child, Phil. We're talking about the Beavers.
Sorry about that. But if we munch on what the Warriors are doing over here, they had two separate teams, right? Like Steph Curry was essentially all their offense, while the rest of their roster and their starting lineup was built around just a boa constricting defense that really isolated and took away what you did best as an offense on your side of the ball. And that's really what they showed. I mean, the Houston Rockets looked like they didn't even know the fundamentals of basketball. They couldn't make a pass without getting just a Draymond in a passing lane and everything else. So whenever you look at this now what the lineup looked without Steph Curry, they still had that incredible defense. Like they shuffled in Steph Curry with Pods, who also is a tremendous defender and also just can generate a little bit of offense, but he just doesn't. I mean, even Buddy Hield has given you an honest effort, which for the first time in his career on the defensive side. And so whenever you had that entire starting roster, they were really able to cause some damage on what the opposing offense was able to do and score points. However, what they then lacked was that ability to reach a winning point total themselves. And that's what Steph Curry did. I mean, yes. Did they need Steph Curry? Yes, because he was the only person on that team that could get you 40 and then just work around the edges.
That they were defended differently with him on the court.
True. Yes. I mean, he provided space for Hield and Pods.
So I agree with Kerr. He says, I don't even have to think what if. He says, I know we had a shot. I know we could have gone the distance. I agree. I think they could have. Maybe they would have. Maybe they wouldn't. But with no Steph Curry, that's over.
And even Steph Curry himself was saying that everything was aligned for him to come back in a game 6 had they reached it. It does feel like that was because the Warriors, again, like I said, last night was the first time the Timberwolves looked like in championship form. Like they had a good.
Look, man, the Timberwolves went in last night with one mission, and that was to eliminate the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
And they went in with that mission in mind, and they executed that mission to perfection. They did not want this series to go on any farther. It was over for Golden State in Minnesota's eyes. So congratulations to the Timberwolves. They will advance on, and good luck to them.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got some more NBA stuff to talk about. The Thunder and the Nuggets getting ready to play here in about 10 minutes, and we'll see what happens there. I'm wanting Denver to win.
Let's go Game 7. We got to go for a Game 7.
Yeah, that just makes it more fun. That's really more than anything. I just want to watch some really good basketball. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 107th PGA Championship. Even with a week's worth of rain at Quail Hollow, the PGA of America did not allow players to lift, clean, and place their balls here in the first round. So cue the revival of the rant about mud balls. The top-ranked player in the world, Scotty Scheffler, weighed in.
In my opinion, maybe today the ball should have been played up. But like I said, I don't make the rules. It cost me possibly 2 shots on one hole. And if I let that bother me, it could cost me 5 shots the rest of the round. But today I was proud of how I stayed in there, didn't let it get to me, and was able to play, some solid golf on a day in which I was a bit all over the place and still post a score.
Scheffler with a 269. He put up a better score than the rest of his group, Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele. Rory 3 over, 10 off the pace. Schauffele 1 over, 8 back. The leader is Johnny Vegas, one of the last players to tee off, surging to 7 under. He horseshoed in a 30-foot birdie at the last. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel all right.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
For Phi, winning the fight against vision loss means seeing new ways to push himself. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is committed to funding research to end blinding retinal diseases. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Learn more at fightingblindness.org.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar.
It's the bone-crushing hits. The searing sounds of training camp. Come on, knock your ass back! All gas, no brakes. Let's go! Soon, the new recruits will show up for minicamp. And then, it's down to business in training camp. When it comes to the NFL, we talk about it. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for the NFL.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, so I can't let somebody be called Hunky Lips, and I'm not going to call them Dr. Lipschitz. What if I called them Hot Lips? We could call them Hot Lips.
Hot Lips?
No,
Or
like from MASH. Only
Hot
that was
Lips
a woman.
Houlihan.
Yeah.
What about squishy lips?
No, I wouldn't have any problem with squishy.
What about
lips.
the thin lips?
Moist lips.
Yeah, we already got moist.
Yeah, we
one.
got moist.
That's too
one,
close.
yeah.
Thin lips. That's the reference of the honky lips. So you're kind of doing the same thing
Jiggly
by saying
lips.
thin lips.
Hmm.
Chicken lips.
Chicken lips.
I like chicken lips.
I like chicken lips.
Chicken lips. There you go.
Or guess what? Chicken butt. We could have a chicken butt.
Chicken butt. Chicken lips.
Chicken butt says, I can see that.
Okay.
Buffalo Mike says, good texture name would be Finkel is Einhorn. Of course it would. Be. We like Ginkle too. Nuggets win tonight, and Westbrook has solid game as a matter of pride.
Wow. Okay.
I don't believe you, 7526. He says, I'm a nurse. So could I be Gaylord Fokker? No. No.
Fokker.
We're not going to do the names from Meet the Parents.
What about Milk My Cat? If it's from
Milk My Cat
yeah.
says, that's a bit convoluted.
My cat has nipples.
How about just cat milk?
Cat milk. Ooh.
Cat milk says that could
Cat
work.
milk.
Amaya D, I know Spanish enough to know I'm not supposed to say that. Nice try. King Kitten says 7 under. I always try to get 7 under her. I don't get that. Moist one says cat milker. Call him that as the name. Not cat milk, cat milker.
Cat milker. Cat milker says
cat nipples.
No, I don't think I'm allowed to call anybody nipples.
And my cat has nipples, Greg. Can you milk her?
No, that's not what he says. He says, I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Whatever.
That's what it was in the movie.
I like your
Whatever
version
you
better,
say.
Randy.
I like mine better. Thanks.
So, Phil.
Yes.
We were going to put Harris to this test, but I'll throw this at you.
All right.
Name the teams which have never won an NBA championship.
Ooh. Let's go. I'm going to go with the Nets.
You are correct.
I'm going to go with my goodness, the
Don't
Pacers.
even put your hands up where I can see them. No Googling.
No, I'm just looking at the teams. The Pacers.
Pacers is correct.
Hornets for sure. They know.
Correct.
Magic.
Correct.
Ooh, did the Washington Bullets win one? I don't think they did. I'm going to go with the Washington Wizards.
Incorrect.
Really? Dang it.
At some point, the Washington team and whatever incarnation.
Yeah.
By the way, DC changes their names of teams a lot.
They
don't
do. Yeah, that's kind of their thing. The Minnesota Timberwolves have not.
You are correct.
The Jazz have
Correct.
not. And the Kings have not. The Sacramento
Yes,
Kings.
the Kings have.
The Kings have won an NBA championship.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, I'm sorry you failed on that one. So
New Orleans Pelicans.
It's a
have
bit
never-
late for the music, Randy.
there it is. Buzzard. Sorry.
New Orleans Pelicans.
You are correct.
Is that it?
No, there's more.
Oh my goodness!
Three more teams have not won a championship, and I can't believe you missed the most glaring and obvious one.
The most glaring and obvious. Oh, LA Clippers.
Okay, that's not the most glaring obvious one. Two more.
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns.
Correct. That's the glaring obvious one.
Yeah, glaring obvious right there.
One more team.
One more team. My goodness. Trailblazers have won. Thunder have not won. Thunder
have won.
Thunder have won.
Yes, they have a championship. What are you going to argue with me?
No, I'm just more so thinking about
You
when
want to
did the-
fight? You
when
want to
did the
step
Thunder-
outside?
Maybe.
Don't you dare whip that shirt off, Phil. He'll come in there.
The Nuggets have won one. The Trailblazers have won one. I'm trying to think of these teams that
It's
have.
a team you don't even remember exists.
Oh.
That's how far down the rung they are.
The 76ers?
No,
they
team
won.
They've
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, they
Their
won with
team
Dr.
name.
Yeah.
Their
Don't
team
give them
name.
any hints. Not
All right,
yet.
Never mind. Never mind.
Atlanta Hawks?
They've won.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, Randy, give them a hint.
Their team name makes absolutely their team name makes absolutely no sense.
What are you talking about?
Their team name
Sure it
makes
does.
Who?
What?
What are you talking?
Huh?
Are you talking about the same team I am?
Well, if you have the correct team, yes.
I might not have the correct team.
I I'm at a loss. I don't remember the
are you-
Grizzlies. The Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies make sense. There's Grizzly Bears in Tennessee.
I thought he hadn't said Utah Jazz.
No, he did.
Oh, okay, my
But-
bad.
Well, no, he didn't because they have won a championship.
They have won a championship. Bad on me.
When did the Oklahoma City Thunder win a championship?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm Googling. Are there Grizzly Bears in Arizona? No, shut up, Google. I'm not that dumb. In Tennessee. No, Grizzly Bears are not native to Tennessee. So the reason the Memphis Grizzlies are what they are is because they had been in Vancouver. They were the Vancouver Grizzlies.
I don't think Utah has won a championship because in
Nobody
my
says they have
research,
that. On my list. The Utah. Oh, there they are. Yeah, he got it right. Phil got
He
it
got
right.
it?
Utah
Yeah,
Jazz.
Utah Jazz have not won.
Phil got them all right. He only
Wow,
gave
Phil, that
one
is-
or
that
maybe
is
two incorrect
impressive.
answers
Yeah.
along the way.
Yeah, Oklahoma
is
City
impressive.
Thunder used to be the Seattle Supersonics. I forgot that they did win one. So
Mm.
that's where I was like, because I was like, the Oklahoma City Thunder have
yeah,
not
with
won. But
Detlef Shrift or whatever his name was. Shrimp.
yes.
And the man boy, what was it, Sean Kemp?
John Kemp. Oh,
Sean
what a
Kemp
pull.
and Detlef Shrimp.
No 75-26. We're not going to call you sexual chocolate
Ooh.
unless you're African American. Then maybe we'd let you, and even then we probably wouldn't.
Come on, man.
I thought we already had one.
What about erotic chocolate?
Why was that better than sexual?
Because at least the C at the end of erotic lends itself
See,
to chocolate.
sexual chocolate. I mean, now we're talking. That's a Daily Blender texter name if I've ever heard one.
I don't think we'd be allowed to have.
Okay. All right. The council would vote that down, would they?
Amaya D says, fun fact, y'all say Tennessee just now? Yes, we did. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Jonesy says the Jazz had never won. The Supersonics did back in 1979.
Yes.
I think the Jazz have never won. The Supersonics have.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. That was well done. Well done, Phil.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
absolutely.
the fact you use the computer for assist on the names, that's almost like cheating.
Yeah, but still, though, I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Did you bite me? Did you
Phil
just say-
knows his stuff.
Is that what I just hear that?
I don't know.
I mean, I do have some ear damage from shooting. You know, you probably don't want to piss off the guy who has ear damage from shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just still, I you know what I think it is? I think people have tinnitus and they're like, oh God, I can't sleep. I can't do. I think my tinnitus must be pretty mild because even though I hear the ringing in my ear when I roll over in the pillow this way, I can sleep. Doesn't drive me crazy.
See, I have a problem if I'm in a room and it's quiet. It's like dead quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a ringing.
Oh my God, it drives me. But I can't think about it. It would drive me bananas.
I used to think it was funny when somebody say, "Oh, I have a ringing in my ear," and I was like, "Then answer it." Now I would like to murder myself for ever saying that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to kill myself. I want to sneak up on myself and murder me.
Like a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate ninja that you are so good at it. You sneak up and murder yourself.
Yeah. You put your own knives
Never
to your
saw
neck.
it coming.
Yeah. Ninja.
I mean, I understand the logistics involved here, Phil. I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the person that is hardest to kill that I could think of would be you, Jeffrey. But if there's a man up to the job, it is you.
Don't ever underestimate me.
I think the only person that could kill Jeffrey O'Brien would be Jeffrey O'Brien.
But don't you expect that I would see it coming because I am Jeffrey O'Brien?
I don't know though, because you are cagey and yet you are also thoughtful.
It is a paradox.
So what would happen is if there was the attempt, a singularity would be created, and a black hole would be formed into being, and we'd all get sucked into just into the next universe.
So when you try to attempt to kill yourself,
right?
Can I not be around you?
Well, you'll have no choice because the black hole will then be everything gets sucked in.
Damn it.
I won't do it unless they fire me.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So Kevin Durant got a nice award. I don't know if you heard this.
Really?
He's the winner of the 24-25 Magic Johnson Award.
Wow.
Oh.
It's not what you think. He
What
does
is
not
it
have
then?
AIDS.
What is it?
And it has nothing to do with any of that.
Uh-huh.
But I guess Professional Basketball Writers Association gives the award every year to an NBA player who excels on the court and displays cooperation and grace in dealing with the media and fans. Basically, not an a-hole award.
You mean like Wendy and Grayhorn and some of those guys that have never even played on a basketball
Well,
court?
this is about playing. This is about how he interacts with the media and how he interacts with the public. And everybody gets along with KD, except for some trolls on Twitter and W. Smith or A. Smith, whatever, yelly guy, shouty guy.
A.S.S. Smith, I believe, is his
I don't
initials.
know, the guy from the yelling, shouting guy from ESPN.
Yeah, yelly, shouty
Well,
guy.
whatever his name is. And so, this is a nice compliment. He's a good dude. And I've always said this. I've always thought he's just a cool, good dude. Although he did get into a thing with shouty guy. Oh, no, it was Acho. He was sitting there and Acho was saying, I can't remember what it was he was going on about, but Kevin Durant was like, you don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, you football guys who retired early to be in the media and then are going to tell somebody else something about what they're doing in their sport. And he just he took Acho to the woodshed on that one.
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
Even Kendrick Perkins was like, "You're right, dude."
Yeah. Kevin Durant is one of those weird ones where this is an interesting win for him because he is not against confrontation. He will certainly tweet to people, both from burner accounts and not, but from his main account and be like, hey, you're a casual fan. I'm going to go back and forth with you on a random Tuesday in between games and just to completely own you. And at the same time, it be completely in a respectful rapport between the two of them.
Sure.
And same with journalists. I know that there were constant conversations about how he and Devin Booker were getting along, how he and the coach were getting along. And some of the times he'd be like, hey, you right over there, you misrepresented what I was saying. Here, let's have a discussion about it. And again, it was a very contentious, it was very confrontational, but it wasn't disrespectful and it wasn't something that was emotional or out of control, which I think speaks a lot. I think that that's kind of something that we do ask out of our athletes, right? We want honesty. We want openness to being talked about. Like if you lose, we want to be able to talk to you just as easily as we would if you were to win. But Kevin Durant is kind of towing the line of where it's like, yeah, he'll give you open honesty, but it's not always necessarily what you want, but I can appreciate that.
Yeah, Kevin Durant has had my respect all along. I've even when he was grumbling, I mean, he was just honest. I mean, he sounded like a diva when he storms into the owner's office back at the Nets and says, "Hey, here's the thing, blah 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 blah." And it's his honesty. The guy can say no, but all Kevin Durant was in there telling him how he felt about the situation, what he wanted to see happen. It wasn't like he was being like, I want it. Yeah. He was just like, hey, this is the fact. This is where we are. This is what I want. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing. I don't see him as a diva. I don't see him as any problem. Jonesy says he got into it with Bickley on Twitter, one of the guys from down the dial.
Yeah.
He'd never get into it with us because, I mean, I've never had a problem with Kevin Durant. Anything he's said or done, I thought it was funny when he was doing burner account. It was a little immature and silly, but I don't have that kind of pressure. Do you? I don't have the pressure of a million people coming at me and saying horrible things to me and constantly challenging me and constantly to where you're finally like, oh, you know what the hell this? Create the burner account, have some fun with it. Yeah, that's what it just seems like. He's just a guy just having a little bit of fun, and he got caught and then he stopped doing it. As far as we know. And everything else I've ever seen him in, anything I've ever heard him say, I'm like, that's fair. I don't have to agree with everything he says or does, but I feel like he's so chill and just so cool. And he's an intellectual type guy too. I mean, you'd almost have to smoke some pot to sit down and go toe to toe with him on anything intellectual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He can go deep. He's a deep dive guy. He's very much professional in all senses of the word. He thinks a lot. He's an intellectual. He has a lot of thoughts and processes that he works through. And he's also somebody who just is in love with the craft of playing basketball, like to his detriment at sometimes when you ask more from a leadership perspective, perhaps, but even at its core, like there's a reason why he's aging as gracefully as he is, because he is just that much about just like, guys, I just want to play basketball. And there's something likable about that.
Yeah. He brings his lunchbox.
Yes.
He comes to work. He Randy, a lot of times you'll hear Randy be like, come on, because, you're making millions of dollars to play the game. Why don't you step up? You never hear anybody say that to Kevin Durant. He always comes to play. He always gives you the effort you're paying for.
He does. He
And
really does. He's a
like I
cool
said,
dude because of that. Yeah. I
Nothing
agree.
but respect for Kevin Durant. Now, the funny thing is, the other guy he's arguing with from down the dial, he's arguing with a guy down the dial who's paid to say nice things about him. And so that tells you a little bit about the guy he's arguing with. We don't get paid one dime to say nice things about Kevin Durant. So in all honesty, he just seems like a really good dude. Now, he probably he's probably not listening to this show.
Probably is.
I don't have to kiss his ass.
You're just doing it for fun.
I'm kissing his ass because I want to.
Yes.
Not because I have to.
And that is the difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not kissing his ass. I don't believe I'm even tall enough. Let's see.
I don't know. I think you're about the right height. Yeah.
Number one Rattlers fan says, wow, Harris is doing so much better today. Keep up the good work, buddy.
You hear?
Oh, that's not right. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Memorial Day savings are here at the Home Depot. So take your kitchen to the next level with up to 35% off, plus up to an extra $450 off select appliances like LG. Plan your get-togethers with an LG refrigerator you can count on for years to come at the Home Depot. And with the connected ThinQ app, you'll know if the door is left open and when to change the filter. Spend less time worrying this Memorial Day with savings on LG, America's most reliable appliance brand at the Home Depot. Offer valid May 15th through June 4th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
I'm Angela Gonzalez, reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite.
Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and somebody was asking me about this because, Peyton Manning is my quarterback more than yours, Phil.
Won more
Don't even-
championships with that.
Don't start. What? He won a championship for me. He won a championship for you.
Yeah, but then he got to another one with us. So.
But he didn't win.
Yeah, but
And
ours-
he was at another one for us too and didn't win.
Who
It's
was
the
he dra-
exact
who was
same
he-
thing.
Who was he drafted by?
he got.
Colts.
Who did he retire by?
He belongs to the Colts.
Yeah, he just got sick and tired of it when he was with the Broncos.
He has more Papa John's in Colorado than he would ever have any
Hmm.
in Indianapolis.
Well, that might be true, but he was drafted by the Colts.
You know, we can argue this all day long. We're going to get nowhere. So
Yeah.
let's just talk about what people have been asking me about. They're like, hey, what do you think of that? What Jimmy Kimmel said there? And I'm like, what do you mean? So I had to go watch, and I'm like, oh, okay. So here's what happened. So you know what an upfront is? I think we talked about this at the beginning of the show. An upfront is when the networks, the upfront, where they say, okay, here's a presentation of all the new shows we have this year. And all the shows that are continuing, you know, it's a little PR piece to, you know, make everybody excited for the new season. The upfronts.
Sizzle reel.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so Jimmy Kimmel was working the Disney upfront, and you know, for the network, for ABC, for everything, ESPN, for everything that was on Disney Plus. And so you know, he's there working his thing, and people are like, oh, he came after Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. He went too far. So I'm like, all right, what's the joke? So here's what he says. I do want to thank the Manning brothers for finally. Okay, so here what, Emily, before I tell you, just before then, Eli and Peyton did like a little song and dance thing. They did a little song and dance.
Oh, for their like Manning cast or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he says, I want to thank the Manning brothers for finally answering the question, what if 2 jars of mayonnaise could sing? The answer is they can't, and they shouldn't. I thought that was pretty funny. And
It
then they
was funny.
said,
Yeah.
that was worse than what the Melendez brothers did.
Wow.
That is what everybody went, oh. So the crowd kind of groaned at it. And he's like, too soon or too late? Which is it? And because, you know, they've been in the news. I got no problem with this joke. Yeah, but everybody's like, he should apologize. That's horrible.
Well, the Melendez brothers that was horrific what they did.
But here's what's funny. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning have good senses of humor. They probably kind of like rolled their eyes on that one at the very least. I don't think he needs to apologize. I don't think everybody has to go all crazy about that. It was a funny joke. Of course, it's not worse than what the Melendez brothers did, but it was funny to hit that he said it. Listen, I'm not the hugest Jimmy Kimmel fan, but that was pretty good. I got to admit, that was not a bad line at all. A little bit hacky, but the mayonnaise, I love the mayonnaise line. I thought that was pretty good.
The mayonnaise line was very fun.
But to say, that was worse than what we've said worse on this show. Far worse on this show. So I look at what the Melendez brothers did line and be like,
I don't know,
that's
man.
pretty good. I think it's good. It's funny. So anyway, so people were asking me, what do you think about what he said about your quarterback? I think even the quarterback would have thought it was funny. And I'm talking about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had a pretty good joke. Remember when he was on Saturday Night Live and he was beaning them kids in the back with the ball, doing that?
Oh,
thing
yeah.
Like he's got a sense of humor.
That was hilarious. Come on, catch the ball.
And he was giving a kid a tattoo. 2863 says Jimmy Kimmel's an asshat, and the joke was not even funny. He needs to go away. Okay, you might not think it's funny, but I feel like it wasn't too far. That was worse than what the Melendez brothers did. Menendez, whatever their name is. I don't know, you just don't like him, so that's how you're going to feel about it. I think we've said worse here.
Yes, but we also don't have, the nationwide audience of Disney and ABC.
Well, thank you for reminding me, Phil, that I'm a failure.
Could be worse. We could be the Menendez brother. Oh, too soon.
Too soon or not soon enough? What is it?
What? It's never
What?
too soon.
What?
That's the answer. It's never too soon. Swazman says, Jeffrey, you're a former professional comedian, and you know funny versus stepping on people's toes. I don't know, man. Funny is what makes you laugh. And if it doesn't make you laugh, you have to examine, why did that not make me laugh? Now, if you're being too precious about something, I am offended. You know what? I'm offended by your being offended.
Well, I mean, I heard the joke. You said the joke. I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it funny because of the horrific thing the Melendez brothers
Yeah.
did to their parents.
Well, the Menendez
shotgunning them as they slept.
Yeah, but you know what? We learn later they might have deserved it.
Well, maybe they did, but I mean, just the horrific actions, and then to make sort of a joke out of it. I'm not offended by it. I just cringe at it, kind of like.
Yeah. You hear that's the best thing about comedy. You think it's funny, you laugh at it. You don't think it's funny, keep it to yourself. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you're offended. Just okay. I guess it was no good. And can I tell you what a comedian likes? A groan just as much as a laugh.
They just want a reaction. Yeah. Nothing in the crowd is the absolute death now.
Pull the Plug says Menendez brothers only around and alive to joke about that because they're in California. Yeah, there's no way they were ever going to die in Cardinal Art says some can't take a joke these days, especially catch the joke and punchline. And Triple H, you work for one of the funniest comedians. Pour me up one of your finest whiskeys and beer, Randy.
Okay.
That's the nicest thing Cardinal Art ever said.
Especially to Triple H when he's not here.
Yeah, that's Phil. Phil's filling in.
That's Double P,
Yeah.
not Triple H.
I don't think Cardinal Art's ever said something so nice, unless he meant Randy.
Maybe.
Instead of me. Hefty Lefty says Michael Shea loves groans from the audience during Weekend Update. It becomes part of the joke. Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh, Michael Shea and they're great.
If we waterland something, I call it a water landing. When I'm having so much fun with the worst joke, but you're like holding onto the stick, like, oh, we can land this. We don't have to crash. Oh, that's my favorite. Some of my favorite times are when something is so awkward and just doesn't hit. Oh, those are the best. There's got to be something wrong with me.
You think?
Yeah, probably. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1862, the Menendez brothers. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Oh, boy. Well, I think you have the wrong music here.
The Union Grounds, the new home of the Eckfords, opened in Brooklyn. The Williamsburg Ballpark was the first baseball facility enclosed entirely by a fence. Why does that matter? I'll tell you. And we're out of music, so I'll take this down and just tell you. Okay, so the Williamsburg Ballpark was the first place that would only allow people in if they paid to get in by paying the admission.
Wow.
That was the first time ticketed sports was happening, 1862, in regards to baseball or really any of the major sports we now call the major sports. So they permitted paying customers to watch the games from benches in a stand while non-paying spectators had to watch way over there, like an embankment by the grounds. And so from this, they backed it up because they played more games than any other club that year and won the national championship. And then they did it again in 1863. So it explains, somebody should be making money off that. And then during that period, they won 22 straight games, which was the longest undefeated, untied streak to this moment. And in the late 1860s, they were one of the pioneering professional baseball clubs, the Tickets. Now, when Tickets first started? Ancient Greece. That is the earliest known use of tickets, like for theater performances and stuff. And in 1786, the first ticketing agency was established in London so they could sell tickets for the Royal Opera House. So 1862 at the Union Grounds in Brooklyn, that's when you saw some tickets for sports.
Wow. No kidding. Wow.
There always had to be a start date, but it's always interesting to see when that is.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd been further back, but that for like gladiators and stuff, I bet you had to pay to get in.
Well, yeah, they definitely paid to get in. Like you think of like the Coliseum, and like the gladiators, like you said, they're just paying a far. I mean, like it's an entire building. They don't need tickets. They just go in. Oh, is it filled? Yes, Gaylord, it is filled. Okay, no more Gaylord. Entrance in today.
When did Gaylord Perry show up to this thing?
And I don't feel like Gaylord is a Greek name.
It could be
a Roman name.
Sorry, Gaylordi.
It would be something like Hickmouth or
Horatio.
I don't Smunmouth, something like something along those lines. It'd be Cleo, things like that.
Erectionus. Hefty Lefty says, keep those uncouth out in the field if they want to watch baseball. Silver Pop says, yeah, Harris's jokes are so hilarious, so much so he laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Cardinal Art says, seen you in Palm Springs back in the day, Jeff Go, and apologies to Phil. I just tuned in.
That's all right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you, Cardinal Art. Appreciate that. Usually he's smacking the hell out of it. Good. I'm stunned and don't know what to say. Anyway, so yeah, tickets. And I wonder if back then there was like a Greek ticket master, who
yes.
everybody hated.
I wonder if like the home teams,
Pearl Jamicus is angry with you, Ticketmaster.
The ticket holders would sell their tickets to the visiting Roman participants or fans.
There were scalpers out there.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 for 1. Come get the lion.
Hefty Lefty says women in ancient times were just using their meat wallet to pay entrance fees.
Heyo.
I guess if you had like a leg of lamb in there and you're like, here, let me in. Sure.
Okay.
I could see them using their meat wallet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didnn't know that's what they called it.
Nice
I would figure
brisket.
it would be like a
Sure, it was
satchel
salty. Yeah.
or a purse
Salted
or
meats.
something. So you look at Hefty Lefty adding in imagine the smell. You're right, Moist One.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The meat purse would get kind of stanky, I think, in ancient Rome. There is no air conditioning.
Especially on hot days. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably want to maybe bring some celery to get in. I don't know. Hey, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 107th PGA Championship, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made